Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. My name, of course, is Am the Hexblade, your head Guildmaster and Chief Barista. Happy Friday, of course. Congratulations on getting through another week. Big congratulations to me, especially for limping this week. And of course, it is Friday. Congratulate yourself for having a good end of the week by watching videos with me, semi-educationally. That sort of rhymes. I had trouble rhyming earlier, but I think I got it. I think I got it like down pat today. So we got it. We got some silly stuff for you all today, mostly. Let's see here. Learning. Knowledge. Did I say the knowledge was good or bad? No. We're gonna find out. Yeah. So let's see what we got. A robot Etch-a-Sketch. Getting hacked by a picture. The concept of Miami. Farming esports. Well, what else is on here? Aliens. A stupid small keyboard and funny coffee. So there's a lot going on here. Will it be? Yeah. Will it be better than a brand new Lambo? Maybe. There might be aliens or something very, very vaguely similarly related to aliens. I keep the topics vague. I keep the topics vague for everybody to figure out, because some of these are just kind of dumb. It's my excuse to watch dumb videos and enjoy. Okay, so let me see here. Let's get the first one about that funny robot Etch-a-Sketch. This one's a little bit on the longer side of my preferred videos, but we'll make do. Hold on, let's see if you guys should be able to hear this. Nope.
This is the world's...
Yep. Cool. We get to see a guy program a funny Etch-a-Sketch first. Just add that to the profile here. Oh, all right. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure this is the world's first Etch-a-Sketch camera, and it's about to draw my face.
In 24 hours, our Etch-a-Sketch robot needs to be submitted.
Also, I just wanted to mention, I really like that a lot of these dumb videos came because of like submitting something for open source. Open source, if you don't know, is like a creator convention where it can show off, like, online creators can show off the stuff they made and things like that. So that's why.
That's his hand. That's his hand.
Look at it go. Ooh, an ESP. Bobot.
Welcome back to Every Flavor of Robot. This video is brought to you by Alex's Wallet. If you or a loved one have ever felt empty on the inside, Alex's Wallet knows how you feel. More on them later. Swaddle and I have been having a hard time
Bouncing
getting
boy.
one of our recent projects working. We're slowly chipping away at it, but it's a slog. And on a lot of our breaks of debugging this robot, we started this game of who could draw the best circle on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Winner takes all. Winner takes all. Winner takes all.
He's pull sharking me. Okay. Left and right. Up and down.
Oh, that's a big circle, Alex. Don't mess it up now.
I can't make
Not my
circles.
best, for
Oh,
sure.
that's really
But
good.
not bad.
Go ahead, take a seat.
Oh yeah.
Wait, isn't this that Mario? Isn't this that Mario Kart minigame? Mario Kart? Mario Party minigame.
It's not even close.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, you drew like a lima bean.
Is that what your circles look like?
Ow!
During one of these breaks, we got a text from our friend Ravi. He was letting us know about a convention called Open Sauce. And not to sound like too much of a fangirl,
Also, yeah, no, I wanted to go Like, look at all these good people in this repertoire. Like, Adam Savage is going. Alan Pan. CNC Kitchen.
But when I saw the people that are gonna be there,
Cody
pretty
Slab.
much every YouTube
Nerd Forge, we watched their stuff. Hey, look. Pirate Software. And also, like, just a lot of other people that I think are neat. Now Red, yay! We watched a bunch of their videos.
YouTuber in science communication and
Oh my god, Star Power. I forgot. I didn't in Strange Parts technology. See what I mean? Like, this is one of those things where it's like, I wanted to go, and I was way late on the knowledge train for it. So maybe next year. Oh my god, Zach Freeman. Yo.
engineering that I look up to. It was a no-brainer. We are going to try so hard to get into this exhibit. Only a slight problem. We don't really know what we're doing, and it's 2 weeks away.
Can't be that bad, right?
We could update the gantry, but I don't know. Ben, what do you think we should do?
What if you guys made a robotic Etch-a-Sketch? I feel like it would be way more interactive than any of these models.
I feel like that can't be that hard.
Note to self, never say that ever again.
All right, now we got the narrative begins. Also, I'm gonna be super real. I really need to learn like a 3D CAD software. Like I think I have like Fusion 360 on this computer right now, but I've never touched it. And I feel like I should really like maybe learn something.
Alright, so we're trying to make the
try.
coolest Etch-a-Sketch that can be demoed at OpenSauce in front of a bunch of
Squigglies.
people. And we need to be able to draw a line, because every picture is just going to be more or less a bunch of lines. So let's start simple. So here we have a test, starting at one point and going up at 45 degrees, and then trying to come back to the same spot. If the machine is tuned correctly, the lines should perfectly lay on top of each other, and we'll just see one diagonal line. Yeah, I mean, the first test didn't work, but we didn't expect it to. It's the first test. And for you to understand why these tests also didn't work, we have to look at the design and actually explain it. I just threw together this stand that can hold the Etch-a-Sketch. So we're going to 3D print this, and we put the motors on here. These are the cheapest Alibaba $3 motors that I could find online.
Those are like brushless
And we're
drone
gonna glue
motors.
a magnet on the back, glue an encoder on the back of this, and all of that is going to be controlled by our little circuit board that we made custom just for robots like this. If you're lost, this diagram captures all three parts of it. We have a motor that we've glued a magnet to. We have a device that can read where the magnet is, called an encoder. And we have a circuit board that makes the motor go. This is the basic building block of a servo. And in engineering terms, we call this a closed-loop controller.
Yeah.
Because not only do we have control over something, but we have feedback on how that control is doing. So if we go off course, we can see that and fix it, right?
So it should be super
Well,
accurate.
A few of you might be in possession of eyeballs, and notice
Which
that it
is,
does not look very fixed. To summarize what
No.
we learned through a bunch of tests, I'm going to draw a couple different scenarios here. So we know that what we want is a perfectly straight line, but that means that both the motors need to be perfectly in sync, which we can tune the robot to do across a short distance, or tune it for a long distance, but it's hard to get both without case 2 or 3 happening. Let's say in case number 2 that the motor responsible for up and down movement is too aggressive and it goes too fast. We would have like a vertical spike, and then it would settle down, and the left and right motor would finally finish its goal. What's unfortunate is that on the way back, it would also have a vertical spike first, followed by a left and right movement, and that would create a completely different path. The third case would be the opposite problem. If you have too weak of a controller, then you're never going to reach your set points, and that error is going to build up over the course of the drawing and mess up the whole thing. It's very difficult to have precise control over both the speed and the position of a robot. But we haven't played all of our cards yet.
Neat.
We have a secret tool that Ben's going to help us explain to combat case number 2. Okay, now Ben, thank you for participating in this study.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Blind test.
So Ben's going to demonstrate what a feed-forward controller does on a robot. In English, feed-forward control just means predicting what we need to do before we do it. I've blindfolded Ben here, and I'm going to hand him 2 different water bottles, one full of water and one empty. Since he's blind and I'm not telling him which one I'm handing him, he effectively doesn't have a feed-forward controller. And now we're going to compare that to just me telling him, hey, this bottle's full of water. This one is full of water. So let's draw a line with this new technique and then move on.
That's something. Wow, that looks so violent on camera.
It's working.
So here's
Man,
our
that looks
test
like
after
ass
we
still.
calibrated our feed-forward controller.
It's a little
and tried to
flat.
draw a square.
Angry.
Square?
Ready? Let's get it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
The vibration that I felt is terrifying. I want safety glasses. Go. It's just teleporting a mile off.
Oh, God. It's so fast.
Alright, we're back in Khan Academy mode to explain what the whole square thing was. We're calibrating our feed-forward multiplier. So we know that if we were supposed to move 20 millimeters, and we actually measure 10 millimeters, then that means if our power is equal to our feed-forward multiplier times the distance that we're trying to travel,
Okay.
since it only went half the distance, this game
So
actually needs
it
to be
needs
2 times as much.
higher.
Easy peasy. But
Math?
even though we can go between points and make shapes, there's still a problem.
I'm
These
showing
are
people
all,
math.
let's say it together, really lame.
Lame.
And actually, we
Yeah.
want to build stuff with the Etch-a-Sketch that's not lame.
It's not lame.
Like this hot dog robot. We need to be able to convert this into a bunch of XY coordinates to send to the Etch-a-Sketch robot. We might be the first people to run into this particular problem of it being a hot dog, but in general, people have wanted to send things over to machines. So 3D printers and CNC machines and laser cutters and machines like that all use something called G-code, which actually stands for Geometry
Code.
Ode.
Duh. Eh.
So if we could take G-code, we could put anything on the Etch-a-Sketch robot, even this awesome robot hot dog. So Swapnil's adding compatibility for G-code, and then we're going to test it on a square, and then we can move on to the crazy stuff.
As fast as possible.
Here we go.
Oh, it's violent, but it works. It feels like a it feels like a shotgun.
Uh-oh.
1. Oh my god.
Oh God. Oh, kill it.
No.
That's not very worst square ever.
Oh, it didn't even home. What? So I was supposed to go back here and
Weird
then
square.
start
I
drawing.
think something's a little wrong.
Is the robot okay?
I think something's broke. Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna take this to the garage and go over it. Can you do your debugging on the jumping robot since it has the same board?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. I don't want to be the reason that this project is held up.
The narrative for this is
So,
also
I'm just
very
gonna do it
good.
tonight. Maybe
Hey, I have the same chair.
the soldering is fine, but oh my god, wait. Oh. Well, that's definitely the problem. This thing is just
Oh, whoops.
it just vibrated off the screws. Okay, well I bet that's actually 99% of the problem. So that was easy. And now I'm gonna go to sleep.
Problem fixed.
We have about 1 week and a day until we need to submit the application, and we spent the last 2 days doing really important things. Swapnil wrote some code that can convert an image like this family portrait into an SVG file, and then take that SVG file and turn it into G-code, which you've already seen that we can pass to our Etch-a-Sketch to draw. We can also use the same Wi-Fi connection to send data back to our computer and graph it, which will help us find bugs. Meanwhile, I was putting things back together,
Neat,
and
ESP32.
adding a little bit more hot glue, and then getting it back to Swapnil so he can keep testing. But we had to take a detour to go stare at the sun, which kind of sucked because something was in the way, but at least work was going so well that we could take a whole day off before we had to get back to work, because now it's portrait time. this is portrait time.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, this is portrait time.
It's
Actually, just
Broken. It's actually just broken.
it's spinning
We broke it.
crazy.
But I guess we need to take it apart and see what's wrong with it. Ideally, we can figure out what's wrong and fix it and not have to replace the Etch-a-Sketch. But if we do replace it, we still need to know why it broke. Oh, JK. Oh, just kidding. Oh. Man, normally I last longer than that. Oh, my God. Ignore the mess.
This is embarrassing. I wouldn't want to show this to anyone on the internet.
I wonder why the Etch-a-Sketch broke. How do you open an Etch-a-Sketch?
Okay, guys, so I made an explanation
Huh.
for this part, but honestly, no one cares. Drum will go. And now, the moment of truth.
A question I've always been wondering since I was like 7.
What's inside the box? Okay. Yeah. What?
Okay. Inside an Etch-a-Sketch is another Etch-a-Sketch.
Another box.
It really is just a cover.
We learned. Okay, removing the
Trusty
cover.
butter knife. We're able to take this off.
Oh.
This part's actually really easy to get off. Set this down over here, and we can see inside the Etch-a-Sketch mechanism. It's 2 rails, and it has this like very thin string that is attached to each knob. We have clearly destroyed that string, and I don't have any intention of replacing it because it looks really hard to do. But we are going to be really careful about this in the future because it is such a fragile little mechanism. If you want a closer look at the mechanism, go check out Kevin E. Davis's video on it. His video is super clear, but we got to keep moving.
Ooh, that's cool.
We were able to
That's
get a new
readable.
Etch-a-Sketch,
That's
but we
cool.
were really scared of breaking it, so we were going through everything and calibrating everything really carefully. We came to the realization that the square test was a lie. Let me explain what I mean by that. We let ourselves believe
Debugging?
that if we could complete the square G-code, then any demo that we might want to run at OpenSauce might be longer, but it won't be more complicated. Because if we can go in a straight line, and we can go at a slanted line, then can't you make everything? We didn't consider the different speeds that the motors would need to spin, and we mainly just calibrated for really fast movements. Straight lines are fine, and 45-degree lines are okay because that just means that both motors are spinning at as fast as they can basically. But to spin at any other angle than 45 degrees, one of the motors has to be going at a fraction of the speed of the others, and that's where our controller breaks down, so we need to recalibrate. So just to summarize, we have this thing set up for really fast movements, but we actually need to be able to do really slow movements. And after we recalibrate, this is the kind of elite performance that we're able to get out of this machine.
Oh, Drew, West Virginia.
It's drawing shapes. It's doing cool.
And this is bad. It's just not good. Like on a scale of good to like not good, we're all the way over here.
Oh,
I could've
man,
expanded the Etch-a-Sketch
that's
to
super
swap
not
them if
good.
I wanted drawings like this. To remedy this, we need to talk about our motors. Now, some of you are definitely thinking,
Why didn't you use stepper motors?
And a lot of you are also
I didn't
thinking,
use stepper
what
motors.
is a stepper motor? Now, I'm not going to get into all of the different nitty-gritty details of the architecture of motors, but in summary, there is a type of motor called a stepper motor that really excels at really high precision movements like this, and these are commonly used in plotting type robotic devices because it simplifies a lot of the controls that you would need to do to get these movements. Compare that to the motors that we chose, which are built for drones and specialize in spinning really fast and being really lightweight. Now, most of you might be assuming that I'm bringing this up because
Yes.
we're going to switch
Whopper.
to stepper motors. But actually, we're not. For the same reason,
Where's
I'm
the
not going to
Whopper?
replace my morning coffee with prune juice and a
Here's
laxative.
the Whopper.
It might take me to the same destination, but it's not accomplishing all of my goals. The
Okay,
goal of
apparently it was so
morning
hot
coffee
that
is to
some
make
of the
my
water
brain
in my
vibrate a
little
little bit
container
faster.
started
And the goal of this project using
evaporating.
drone motors is to challenge
So that's
our
weird.
engineering and controls. Okay, let's get back on topic. What are we doing to fix the problem then?
Right.
Well, if these motors want to spin fast, then let's let them spin fast. While y'all were busy listening to a rant and some poop jokes, our engineer Tom was designing us an entire new chassis for the Etch-a-Sketch that has a belt drive system built into it. And by gearing down the motors, we can get much higher resolution drawings done. And since we were nowhere near the top speed of our motors yet, it's free. So now that we have an actual truthful calibration script, we can get back onto making a demo for OpenSauce that's going to let us get into the exhibitions.
It's doing things.
I'm gonna restart everything. That was over here.
Alright, so now that everything's calibrated and it can run the G-code and actually follow the commands, we're ready to tackle the family portrait again.
Fascinating.
Pretty sure we
That's-
scaled that one incorrectly, and that's why it was small
Weird
and
line.
in the top right corner.
You ready again?
I'm ready.
I like watching it do. I like watching it do
We
its
haven't
thing.
started increasing
It's
the
very
motor
cute.
speed yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump towards the end of this test to let you see.
I think it's working.
I think it is.
If we got rid of all these collinear points,
Yeah.
By collinear points, I mean that you can kind of see that the Etch-a-Sketch is drawing back and forth over and over again, even though there's already a line there. Technically the points are probably different coordinates, but the resolution is finer than we can actually draw, so we should be removing them. But first we have to figure out why this picture doesn't look anything like the portrait that we took.
Okay, well,
something's going on and squashing all of the things to the limits.
yeah.
Now, here's my question. Does this look like any portion of the... Can you pull up the G-code?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Awesome.
That's his hand. That's his hand.
Hey, look,
Oh, dude. Oh,
they
okay.
did a funny draw.
Okay.
So it's gonna work.
No.
It's gonna
way.
work.
Oh my goodness, we finally have confirmation that this project is going to work, and now we just have to finish it in 5 days. But honestly, it's still not in a great spot.
Is
That's a window.
I can see the window.
That's
squid
the lantern.
shape.
That's a hand.
I see that.
That's a hand.
Like, this is a great milestone, but it's just not
Art.
ready for a demo in front of hundreds and hundreds of people.
Way faster.
It's really fast. In 24 hours, our Etch-a-Sketch robot needs to be submitted.
Godspeed.
Okay, a ton has happened in the past 4 days, and we are getting ready for the application demo to OpenSauce. We got a camera hooked up and uploading images to our computer that can process it. I also decided to add some more gear reduction so we can have better controls on the drawings. But they are so stuck to this build plate.
Get. Oh no. Get a spatula.
And a hammer drill. What's important is that the gears fit on the Etch-a-Sketch, they seem pretty good, and it's able to go a lot faster.
Nyum.
Wow, it's zooming. Now, if only we could figure out why everything's happening upside down. Also, these gears feel like way more dangerous than the belts, so we're gonna put some covers on them, but I also think they look really cool, so we're gonna make them out of acrylic. We have this really cheap CO2 laser that we keep in our garage, and I love an excuse to use this thing. It cuts through acrylic in like 25 bajillion passes, but hey, it gets the job done. What can I say?
Cool. Oh, side note. Don't have an acrylic laser in your home. They're very dangerous. Don't have those.
We are on our
Weird thing
final
to say,
push
but
get
yeah,
this done
don't.
already. We have 16 hours left. It's probably going to be a really late night, but we need to get these pictures drawing fast and well. The problem is, there is one piece of this design that we haven't even talked about yet, but it is definitely
Oh, it has
the
a cute
final
little
boss.
camera.
So I told you all that we can take an image and we can convert it through the things and end up with G-code. And that's great, we can run that G-code. However, it's like 50,000 lines. And we need it to be like 1,000. And so we've been working on optimizing the G-code. However, our optimization needs to be fast. We can't have everyone waiting around for 15-20 minutes while their picture is being processed. And above all else, we need to make sure that the Etch-a-Sketch drawing comes out good. So what are you going to do about it? Well, we have 2 secret weapons that we've been working on. The first one is called Magic. I mean Voodoo.
Well,
I mean Cartoonify. This really cool GitHub repo that we found. And they had an amazing demo on neural style transfer. Basically being able to take an image and make it look as if it was painted or drawn in a specific artistic style. This is an automatic cheat code for taking an image and turning it into something simple enough that we can draw in the Etch-a-Sketch.
it's pretty good.
Because if you just take a normal
hey, Vi.
picture and you ask a computer to find all
Hot
the edges
dog.
on it, you get this really messy result most of the time. You can try to clean it up and stylize it first, but it's hard to remove noise without destroying the features of the picture.
Sounds
Which is
good.
why I call the style transfer stuff magic, because it lets us keep the cowboy hat and all 4 legs of the dog. Now the second secret weapon is some weird math, computer science stuff.
Traveling
Commonly referred to
salesman
as
problem.
Traveling salesman problem. Which
Ah.
you can read about on your own, but it basically lets us choose
It's
the
annoying
shortest
as hell.
path, which means a faster drawing. And we can also use it to travel back on lines we've already drawn to clean up stuff like this and turn it into this. Anyways, I know you're thinking, enough nerd talk, Etch-a-Sketch man, show me the portrait. And I'm happy to oblige.
Show us the portrait. I was actually thinking about the traveling salesman problem when I was initially watching this video. I'm like, points in a line. Buff.
No way.
That
And Now that
works?
we've achieved photorealism, we can move on to the open source demo.
So here's the demo.
Identified.
That's actually so cool. Dog. Yeah, shocked Pikachu. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's a really good shocked Pikachu, actually.
Check the email.
Oh, hey, look, it's the hot dog.
Oh, I don't know. I just saw the email.
Yeah, the algorithm cut down the noise for sure. I mean, it's also because of like the, what was it? The Cartoonify, like basically the vectorization of the image too.
We're gonna go.
Yeah.
And it's also like clean enough to actually figure out what it's doing, which is fantastic. Things like that are pretty good though. It takes some heat. I mean, but apparently it's fast enough to like demo like this, so that's cool.
Right now.
Oh, there's a Discord for the exhibitors.
Ooh, a Funko Pop of some item of some kind. A cute creature.
Time to book the most expensive flights I've ever booked.
Oh, we gotta buy some plane tickets.
This one is a hard one, fast.
If you're looking at this, William Osmond, can you
This one's my favorite because it's such a power move. I love it. I don't know why. I like it when drawing robots draw themselves.
We still
Or when
have
printing
more
robots print
demos
themselves.
that I'm
It's
going to show
cute.
you guys, and I'm not even going to stop showing them on the screen. But this one goes out to a very special someone. Or actually it goes out to a very special
Self-actualization?
600 people.
Yeah.
That's how many people have subscribed to the channel at the time that I'm editing this video. I don't even know what to say other than just thank you. This is so fun to be able to share these robots with y'all, and I hope that we can keep sharing many more types of robots. Dare I say, every flavor of robot. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you. Whether you've been here since day one, like my mom, or we just stumbled into your feed and you decided to click subscribe very recently. Also, check out this 600 subs sign is actually made of a bunch of little robots.
So cool.
And one more
It's cute.
targeted demo. AI Robin, our one and only Patreon subscriber. Hey man, that means the world. Thank you so much. Our Patreon is where we keep all of our engineering notes as we're building these robots. And we keep that in the free tier so that anyone can see the engineering process. But if you believe in supporting us to build robots
very good.
and make open source contributions and help educate the robotics community, please consider subscribing to our Patreon as well.
I wish I was smart enough to do
Let's get
this.
Back to the Etch-a-Sketch machine drawing crazy stuff.
I just like watching it do things. I am unfortunately I'm not good enough to do this. I'm good enough to watch it though. Hey, look, it's another self-portrait. Ooh, self-portrait from a photo. Ooh. Yeah, they had several people in resources and a college education. No, that's a joke. I also have a college education, but just not in a the college education did not help me at all. Yee. It's just a bunch of demos at this point, so like they're good though.
It's on. The
I do
pressure's
like this
on.
Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. I have not used it. Exactly. I have not used my degree at all. Still paying for it though. Okay. Let's hear next video. Oh yeah, you submitted this, Rose. It's about getting, what was it? Getting hacked by a picture? Question mark. College would help if it didn't put you in several million in debt. Yeah, thankfully I didn't get that much in debt, and it's very easily payable. But like, yeesh, you know. Ooh. This is about the WebM exploit that got shown off a little bit.
Did you know you could get hacked by a picture? Yeah, if I served this malicious picture here to you and it rendered in your browser, there was a long period of time where it would be able to crash your browser or even give me remote code execution on your browser. And this bug was
They showed this
actually
in
being
Mr.
used
Robot?
by the
Huh.
NSO group to remotely exploit iPhones with a zero-click exploit that took advantage of a bug in the libwebp library. Now,
Oh,
this
wow,
bug
okay.
is so crazy, and I haven't made a video about it, so I wanted to talk to you guys about it today. It is literally one of the most insane bugs that I've ever seen from a couple perspectives, and we'll talk about those in this video. Also, hi, my name is Low Level Learning. I make videos about programming and software security and cybersecurity, so if you like those things or you want to just hang out with me, hit that sub button. I really appreciate it. When you open a picture, what happens?
Oh, that was an
The
earlier
picture
version?
has to be
Oh, okay.
interpreted by some piece of code to render it onto your screen. At the end of the day, a picture is just a binary file format that will render an image to the screen. The binary file format contains things like the data of the picture that are compressed into different blobs, things about the encoding of that color, maybe metadata about the picture itself or comments in that picture, as well as a number of other things. You can actually go look at the JPEG and the PNG format and go read about all the different features that those specs have. And for every spec there has to be a piece of software that parses it. And just like any piece of software, that software can have software vulnerabilities. Now, the libwebp library is meant to parse the WebP file format, a newer format for images and video that allow you to encode more data effectively into a better compressed format. And just like anything else, code that is new typically has vulnerabilities that haven't been found yet. Now, an interesting feature of the WebP
WebP.
format, and ultimately the source of the bug, is the ability to do lossless compression. The idea being you have a bunch of data that's really
It's also,
large,
yeah,
and
insane
you
annoying for
compress it
editing.
down to a smaller size. Now, in a lot of file formats, there is lossy
Which I think is just Adobe's fault at that point.
compression, where the compression of that data results in the loss of information. You're able to remove information to make your file format smaller, but you can't expand that data back to what it used to be. There is loss in your information. By using an algorithm called Huffman coding, the libwebp format is able to do lossless compression on information stored in the image. Now, the way it does this is via a very complex algorithm that I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about in this video.
Trees. Trees. Trees.
What Huffman
No.
coding allows you to do is store the statistical likelihood of a particular data value. to
Heuristic
occur
trees. No, I
and
don't want to
assigning
go
a
back.
code to it. By doing this, you're able to inform the decompressor of what codes mean what thing and allow you to store more information into a compressed file format. For example, in this example, Huffman coding here, we have the character space who appears 7 times in the data, so we assign this code to it here. It means every
That's
time
the
you
shit I'm
see
supposed to.
the bit
Yeah, I'm
sequence
supposed to have a
111
degree in this
or
too.
7,
I
you
just don't
replace
want to
that
look at
with
it again because
the
I did not like
8-bit
data
value
structures
of
as a
space,
class.
which is hex 20. By doing this, you're able to save a lot of room in your file format. Now, the problem with this is that if we included all of the statistical information about the image in one tree, that in and of itself would be very big. And in order to do that in a way that is lossless would contain a lot of size. There'd be a lot of room required to store
It's
that
also a
tree
miracle
inside
that
the
I
image.
passed this barrel.
So the libwebp format recursively takes the tree and then compresses that down via Huffman encoding and does that a couple of times over and over again to a point where you have it as small as you can get it to recreate think about like Maristroika dolls, those trees and produce the image as the way that it was found before it got compressed. Now, the issue with this,
Okay.
the reason that there's a bug here, is that when you build a Huffman table, there is no length check on the buffer size where you're storing the table.
Oh, well, fuck.
So effectively, if you're able to create the right Huffman encoding table that once it recursively unpacks itself to the correct size using the correct tree values, and again, this is not a simple algorithm, if you're able to do this, you're able to create a buffer overflow in the BSS of the libwebp library. Now, this buffer overflow eventually leads to a double free, which is a very common heap exploitation technique that allows a user to take over the status of the heap and use that to enable remote code execution. Now, you're probably wondering, how did we miss this bug? Like, what went so wrong that no one saw this bug in public? Like, we have plenty of projects that are doing open source software analysis. The biggest one that's most well known is Google's OSS fuzz. It's open source software fuzzing. If you're not familiar with what fuzzing is, fuzz testing is basically this way of taking software and essentially screaming at it and just making sure that when it fails gracefully. If you hand it data that it is not meant to process, it handles the error values in a way that does not expose the user to remote code execution via either memory corruption or some kind of logic error. And there are literally hundreds of projects that are integrated into open source fuzz where effectively you produce a project, you put it into OSS.
Wait, hold up. What is this? What is this diagram? Who published this? Who published this repo?
When it fails,
Did we even say? There's no.
Essentially,
It doesn't mention who
goes
says
through
it.
hundreds of project
Is
execution
it? I think it's Google.
via either OSS fuzz.
Oh yeah, it's Google. OSS Fuzz right there. Google put this actual official Google documentation. Developer.
And then on the cloud, it is consistently fuzzing, throwing bad data at it, and it will inform the developer if it finds a issue in your code. Now, what makes this bug so insane is the amount of things that have to go right to get the exploit to work, and the amount of things that have to go wrong for this bug to have been caught in OSS fuzz, and I think why it was able to remain unseen for so long. And if you go back to the story of how this bug got caught, it only got caught because there was a lab that detected suspicious behavior on the iPhone of an individual employed by a Washington, D.C. based civil society organization. Basically, the NSO group was doing political espionage, and a threat research organization saw their iPhone being exploited.
Picking up none of this is going to be
in the wild, kind of like the XZ bug. This bug could have just sat in code for a long time. Now, how did we not catch it in OSS fuzz? Well, the reason is that it's such a difficult bug to reproduce. It's almost impossible to produce a Huffman encoding table that when it's unpacked over and over and over again to the top level, it overflows this table. And you'll even see in Ben Hawk's write-up of how they went through and did the technical.
I like hearing about stuff. I'm just bad at understanding. It's so from what it's saying, the only reason why it got caught was somebody was openly exploiting it on a user's iPhone, right? I know I like abstract thoughts like that. And then the problem is that reaching the condition to have this cause a buffer overflow is difficult from testing by just randomly doing shit. which is, I think that's kind of what
Packed
We're
over and
going.
over and over again to the top level, it overflows this table. And you'll even see in Ben Hawk's write-up of how they went through and did the technical triage of this bug, they recognized that there was an issue. They saw that there was no bounds check on the buffer that they put the Huffman table into, but how do you create a Huffman encoding table in an image in a way that allows you to effectively recursively unpack to get the buffer overflow condition to happen? And so he and his team had some really cool visualization tools here. One of them being that they're showing the Huffman encoding table, and basically they're trying to visualize how can they make the Huffman encoding table as large as possible by expanding out this graph structure. And how can they use that to leverage the buffer overflow? And the reason this bug got missed for so long is because of how hard it is to create a Huffman encoding table that enables a buffer overflow. The researcher Misty Mintzkopf, I guess,
expand Huffman.
wrote
Exactly, that's what I'm
code here
saying.
called craft.c that allows
The hard part is trying to make something so large, or like is trying to make something like try to make a specific like image or something that's malicious that would cause it to like do this.
to create an image that is able to exploit the buffer overflow, right? If you look at the amount of code here required to do the math to actually produce a Huffman encoding table that violates this constraint, it's non-trivial. Like there is a significant amount of
500
code
lines.
right now
Oh my god.
to produce a Huffman encoding table that, when recursively unpacked, creates the exploit condition. So we can see here at the very, very end, they show how if they make this the table here, the ultimate unpacked size is 414 and 526, which is bigger than the size of the array, which is pretty interesting. So what are we left with? A simple 1 pixel by 1 pixel image that has no actual image data, but contains a Huffman encoding table that, when expanded, enables a buffer overflow that later could be used to create a double free and eventually take over your computer.
Wow.
Absolutely insane of a bug.
That's
I have not been able to stop thinking about it since it happened. Now, this bug is from September of last year. It has been patched, so likely if you're updating your browsers like you should be, you have a new version of Chrome, new version of Firefox, you are not vulnerable to this. But it begs an interesting question about libraries that sit dormant in certain projects. I know from personal research that there are projects still on the internet right now, maybe image converter libraries, for example. I want to convert this WebP to a PNG that haven't been touched in a long time and are still using the vulnerable version of libwebp from months ago. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you found this bug as interesting as I did, and I hope that you're able to stop thinking about it, because I personally can't. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit the sub button, and then go watch this next video that I think you'll like as well. Thanks.
But yeah, very simple. Like, I'm not saying it's simple. This is a very complicated process, and the math to do that, I would never be able to do in like my life. But very neat, interesting thing that happens when you try and like just kind of weird libraries just kind of get exploited like that. So that's cool. Thank you, Verse, for sharing. I appreciate it. I sub to Low Level Learning, and I'm getting good content from them anyway, so you should sub to them too. Next, okay, this one's from Good Work, which I think I've shown them a couple times. It's a little bit more businessy type video. It's basically why the hell are all these businesses going to Miami? Like, a ton of businesses are apparently moving over to like having headquarters in Florida and stuff.
Miami, a haven for the finer things in life: sun, surf, putting your toes in the sand. You know, there are worse places to be tracking down the nursing home attendant who seduced your grandma and cut you out of the will.
Oh, right,
I'll find
yeah.
you, Francisco. But I wasn't just here for pleasure. In recent years, a migration of professionals from states like New York and California have turned Miami into a burgeoning hub of finance and tech. Some have embraced the change, including city leadership that have hailed a new era for Miami as the Wall Street of the South, or America's Switzerland. But others have seen it as the latest example of Miami
Money is
pricing out its
happening.
longtime residents in favor of the ultra-wealthy, a trend that tarnishes the city's culture and heightens inequality. It was high time someone got to the bottom of this, and that someone was gonna be me. So I spruced up on my Espanol, sprayed on a thick coat of SPF 250, and called up some friends who were Miami natives, because Dan Toomey was about to tackle Vice City. Bienvenido a Fresh off of the
Okay.
tarmac, my tummy started rumbling for the flavors of Latin cuisine. Of course, my virgin tongue has never experienced anything spicier than Hellman's lighter-than-light squeezy mayo. But if I wanted to find out what was really going on here, I was gonna have to blend in. So I started off my sleuthing with a trip to La Carreta in Little Havana, where I met with culture reporter Carlos Frias to learn more about the city's history. Needless to say, I was fitting right in.
Mira, estamos haciendo un programa de televisión que tienen estos muchachos y yo soy de aquí y voy a ordenar unas cuantas cositas para que ellos lo prueben. No tenga miedo.
As our first interview, we're here, so why pick this restaurant?
Well, I mean, look at it. This is actually the cultural meeting places of Miami. Miami's, it's 125, 150 years old as like an established place.
I want to see what they're eating.
Where you would get things shipped up to Tampa.
I see fried items that I'm already in.
City, like before 1900.
Tampa was?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shit time that must have been.
Since the turn of the 20th century, Miami has been reshaped by waves of immigrants coming into the city. In the early 1900s, it was black Bahamians that built the beginnings of modern Miami. By the 1950s and 60s, Cubans fleeing the Castro regime arrived in the city. And over the next few decades, immigrants from all over the Caribbean and Latin America settled here, often in search of an alternative to political or economic turmoil at home. You can observe the impact of the city's immigration waves by simply looking at a map of the place. Little Havana, Little Haiti, Little Bahamas, and Little Santo Domingo in the Alapata neighborhood are all distinct areas with distinct cultures.
Right next to Miami
That's
International.
kind of at the basis.
Fascinating.
Is Miami's always getting remade by different groups that are affecting the culture of the place, and so that means it's always trying to redefine its identity.
And today, there's a new group of immigrants docking their ships in Miami's harbors, tossing their own spice into the city's cultural stew. But instead of Havana, they hail from Manhattan's Hudson Yards Equinox Gym Spa Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, tech and finance have entered the chat.
Miami is having its tech moment. The goal of turning Miami into the new Silicon Valley is a push from City Mayor Francis Suarez.
Big investors are moving to Miami.
Ken Griffin is moving both Citadel and Citadel Securities to Miami.
Oh, fuck yeah. We are so back. If there has been any group to define this sinking city's recent history, it's been the bros and hoes of tech and finance. From some of the richest people on the planet to founders hoping to fund...
I just wanted to mention, I almost hate how close this is almost to me. Minus maybe the Zin, because I don't do that thing. And also maybe not the Harvard pin, because I'm definitely not that. Sleep deprived, would love a drink, and also order sweet green on a daily basis from work. Yeah, this is basically me.
Those of tech and finance, from some of the richest people on the planet to founders hoping to fund their startup over drinks at Art Basel. All of this really took flight during the pandemic, a time where more Americans moved to Florida than any other state. And this was encouraged by Florida's lax COVID policies. While other states closed their borders and required isolation, Florida welcomed transplants.
Oh, right.
And unvaxxed arms.
Oh, right.
Came the moolah.
Oh,
we had so much money coming here from California and from New York, and a lot of this is like dovetails with COVID, right?
Danny Rivero is a reporter for Miami's public radio station WLRN.
He also has cool
People
shirts.
were moving around the country and whatnot too, but the mayor said, "Come here."
And boy, did they come.
Tries to build a
During the
tech
heat of the
mecca.
pandemic,
Oh my
members
God.
of the tech and finance community flocked to South Florida like a squadron of pelicans. We know this because they tweeted a lot about it.
It was an entire burgeoning subgenre on Twitter of what I called like science fiction revisionism about Miami. People who were coming down here, who've been here for like 2 weeks, were like, guys, like that's how every fucking tweet would begin.
Guys, comma.
Or like ellipses, like no traffic, great hospitality, outstanding government. I'm like, what are they describing? So all of us who have lived here for literally ever are trying to understand how people who have been here for 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months want to like man-bro-splain to us what Miami is.
Were you tweeting back at them too? Or
I was the only one.
Billy Corbin is a documentarian and commentator who hosts the Because Miami podcast. After hearing him talk about the city on
Dan Tooney
something
banned
called the
from all
Joseph
podcasts.
Rogan experience,
Oh,
I
boy.
decided he was ready for a big-time interview with Dan Man himself, a decision I immediately regretted.
You're the whitest person I have ever met.
Oh.
Really. You're the same color as your shirt.
Oh.
When I first met you, I thought you wanted to tell me about this wonderful book. I just like.
Oh.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is that it?
Yeah. It's like me. I'm roasting you, and you're still this white.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Getting his ass.
You got any others?
No.
No? You sure?
I do.
You want to invite anybody else in on this?
Yes.
Clearly, Billy was confusing me for some white guy. But nevertheless, as a native Miamian, Billy's tone towards the city's
Also
financial
white?
expats was far from flattering.
Arroz con mango literally means mango and rice, but what it means in kind of Cuban Spanish slang is clusterfuck. And so I referred, when the tech bros started moving to Miami during the pandemic, during 2020, I referred to them as the Arroz con Man Bros. The jokes are funnier when I explain them.
Perhaps the most arroz of these man bros was none other than Francis Suarez, the mayor of Miami who became the figurehead for the movement to turn the city into a commerce hub. It was on December 4th, 2020 when venture capitalist Delian Asparojov tweeted about moving Silicon Valley to Miami, and Suarez responded with a simple, "How can I help?"
What the
then
fuck?
Came media appearances, more tweets, and soon a billboard in San Francisco, dragooning tech employees to get their glue-colored skin and bad posture down to South Beach stat.
As a mayor of Miami, he doesn't have a lot of power. The power is at the county. He's the mayor of the city. A lot of people get that confused, and that makes the mayor of Miami seem like a much bigger deal than he really is. But he has done a phenomenal job of promotion, right? Like that is almost the extent of his power.
One of the main vehicles for that promotion was the Hobbit-entrancing fluff money of cryptocurrency.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Miami launched a fully fledged assault to become the crypto capital of America.
I'm gonna stand up real quick.
Renamed their stadium FTX Arena.
No!
Mayor Suarez announced that he would take his first paycheck in Bitcoin.
No!
Miami also minted its own cryptocurrency called Miami Coin and even installed a crypto bull downtown to compete with New York's Wall Street Bull.
The crypto bull is right
That's the
downtown at Miami Dade
stupidest
College,
thing.
right over the bridge from here. You can go visit it, but it is in fact a crypto steer because it has no balls.
Also, I want to check the price of Miami coin, just out of curiosity. Please, I want to... Yeah, there we go. That chart looks exactly what I was expecting it to.
Here to shit on Miami coin.
Yeah, I'm here to shit on Miami coin. Yeah, that shit was 97%.
I will say, great
Another pump.
great PR move. Horrible, horrible investment.
Great PR move, horrible investment. How much Miami coin can I buy for one United States dollar you do? 6K. How much is that in... I hate saying this. How much is that in Doge? Is Doge worth... That's not what I typed in. What?
Water. Water coin.
What the fuck?
Is Doge not on crypto.com?
Why? Okay. What's the difference? Wait, no fucking way. Hold up. Wait, what? Am I hallucinating? I might be hallucinating. Okay. Convert.
Yeah, you're right, Vi. None of these coins can buy anything, so they're just functionally a really shitty investment.
Wait, how much is it? How much? Doge is worth more.
Wait, you didn't know about Dogecoin? That
You
shit
didn't
was
know-
worth a lot for a while.
Yeah, like it was worth like...
It was worth real money for a hot second.
It's still worth relatively weird
What
money.
did you sell at? Do you remember, Alma?
Uh...
Tell the story. Tell the story.
You mean the story of how I bought a gaming PC for Dogecoin for just leaving it alone?
Yeah, you probably spent like $2 of your family's electricity mining Doge 10 years ago, and as a joke, and then you.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it was high school. It just started, and like for a joke, legitimately for a bit, I was like, I wonder if I could just start mining this for my GPU, and then I did. I built a computer with a fucking 750 Ti, which if you don't remember is like one of those.
That's old as fuck. That's like
Graphics cards that looks like fucking this.
very early 2010s GPU.
I ran it for like a year straight. got enough Doge to buy a $20 Best Buy gift card that I used to buy a Fitbit, and then save the rest of the money. And then
Money, air quotes.
money, because I was like, this was the time when they were still like tipping each other Bitcoin on like Reddit. So like everybody understood that it was functionally worthless, and it was for a very significant amount of time. And then for some reason that I'm not gonna mention, because the person who caused it is a dipshit, the price for Dogecoin,
Elon Musk.
that's why I said I want to say it. It raised by a very substantial amount.
Almost overnight.
Well, over the course of like a while, but like it got to a point where I'm like,
I'm spinning.
yeah, that's fine. It got to a point where like I had all this, I forgot what my wallet even contained, so I'm like, how much money is on here? And then I had to take a while to like get it and move it over to a space where I can actually like use it and see how much money I had. And then I checked the conversion rate. I had like about $1,000 after the stuff a little bit over $1,000. So I'm like, what should I do with it? And then Jill doesn't like crypto, and understandably so, because my opinion on it has obviously shifted from the initial me farming it from during high school when it was worth literally nothing. So I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of this fast. What dumb places do I know that accept Dogecoin? Newegg does, apparently. So I just went all out and bought myself the best computer that I could get, and I'm currently using it right now. This is technically not a crypto win story. I did something as a joke, and years later, I apparently got money, and I'm like, okay.
Remember when Valve briefly allowed you to buy Steam games with Bitcoin and then stopped doing that in like less than a year or something?
I don't even remember them doing that. Holy crap.
Did. I think Gabe Newell wrote about how it was like a really shit idea because it was too volatile. So by the time by the time they could cash it out for real money,
could have been.
It was so volatile it was worth less than the price of the game that the person bought. So like
There was no way to tell if it was going to be worth it by that point.
Yeah,
So-
it's like
which
this
is-
is why crypto doesn't work, because it's all of the coins are too volatile to like make sense
Yeah.
for real life use.
Yeah. So
And
that
then you have shit like gas fees, which we're not going to even get into.
which is dependent on the day and the sun and the lunar alignment.
How many mayflies died that second?
Yeah, like shit like that. I don't support any form of crypto because holy shit, they turned that from an internet joke to functionally the worst thing that's ever been invented in the past several years.
Dogecoin was literally created by a meme by a developer who wanted to make fun of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it somehow became worth actual money.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the weird part. I need to double check if I have my... I don't even know where the hell I put my wallet, which is not great.
Doesn't have any.
But there's nothing in it anymore, so who cares? But, you know.
You don't know where it is. No one can steal anything from it.
No one could steal it.
Ultimate security.
No one knows where it is, not even me.
The bull is the balls.
Right.
Needless to say, I
Take
had
that,
to
Gizmo.
confirm that this bull was ballsless.
Mental streamer, thanks for the follow. For that very weird transitionary talk.
Bull is okay. It's actually a little bit.
It looks like well, here's the problem. It looks kind of okay, but also it looks like a 2000s like Transformer.
It does look like a Michael Bay.
It looks like a Michael Bay bull. With all the positives and negatives that go towards it, looks like something Michael Bay made. And it does not have any testicles.
Side quest completed. They
can't do it. No balls.
This crypto hype.
Oh, hey, look at that. There's the chart.
ended up vanishing into the night, Miami's great corporate offensive was actually pretty successful in luring the financial class to the city. Since 2020, Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, Icon Capital Management, Peter Thiel's Founders Fund, and hedge fund manager Ken Griffin's Citadel have all relocated offices to Miami. Between 2021 and 2022, an estimated $6 billion in annual income arrived in Miami-Dade County alone. Now, rich people moving to Florida isn't a new trend. For generations, the wealths have flocked to these beaches in search of good weather and...
The wealths? I've never heard anyone say that. Are you one of them? Are you one of the wealths?
Remember,
Alma,
they like to be
Rich
called,
people have always bought their fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Oh,
homes.
you mean yuppies.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
that that's nothing new. Rich people moving to
Well, yuppie
Florida
doesn't mean
and
you're
South
rich.
Florida, whether it's as a tax shelter, haven,
Okay, true.
or get out of paying state income taxes elsewhere, or it's just the weather.
A lot of wealthy people suddenly found themselves having to pay more taxes in certain states, particularly in New York City.
Deborah Acosta reports on Florida real estate for the Wall Street Journal.
And so you're talking about like chefs of industry, right? Like the titans of industry, Carl Icahn, people like that.
Oh no. Icahn is back.
Were already making their way down here before the pandemic hit.
Florida's tax laws are famously quite nice to the ultra-wealthy and corporations. There's no state income tax, capital gains tax, or estate tax, meaning you can cash out on stock tax-free and also inherit wealth and property tax-free. Plus, the corporate tax rate is relatively low at just 5.5%. Meanwhile, the Biden administration and
Words
many
are
individual
happening.
states are doing their darndest to combat America's record-breaking wealth inequality by trying to tax the very richest people in our country more. So the sunny shores of Florida are looking nicer than ever if you're one of them richies. Like this fella.
Jeff Bezos switching coasts, the founder of Amazon.com, taking his talents to Miami.
That's right. Earlier this year, none other than Jeff Bezos got one step closer to completing his transformation into Pitbull by moving back to Miami where he grew up. However, it doesn't take an investigative journalist to crunch the numbers on this one and conclude that sentimental ain't the only kind of value Jeff is gaining here. And thank God, by the way, because I am not an investigative journalist. I'm actually two curious little aliens whose ship crashed on Earth and took shelter inside of this trench coat. We're extremely interested in the dysfunction of your planet's financial system, and we look forward to probing Mr. Wonderful. Back in 2022, Washington State implemented a 7% tax on capital gains over $250,000 per year. That was the same year that Bezos stopped selling Amazon stock, which he had been doing annually since the 90s. Then this year, after he touched down in the 305, Bezos filed paperwork to sell 50 million shares worth over $8 billion at the time of filing, saving him at least $600 million in taxes on the sale, which, for what it's worth, covers the cost of his new 417-foot super yacht. Jeff now has multiple properties over here at Indian Creek Island. This dollop of land, also known as Billionaire Bunker, is home to people like Carl Icahn, Tom Brady, and Jared Kushner, and is only accessible via a guarded bridge. Soon after this moment, I was sniped by a tranquilizer dart to the penis. This island is ground zero for the extreme wealth that's moved into the city. Today, the 5 wealthiest property...
Epstein Island, we checked. Oh my god.
Wait, what?
In the top left.
The owners on Indian Creek now
tiny
controlled a combined...
Not Epstein Island, we chat.
fortune of about $191 billion. For the people on Indian Creek, this tax deal in Florida is mucho primo. But for everyone else, it's not mucho, and even less primo.
We find that Florida is actually the worst in terms of having a tax system that increases inequality. A tax system where the less you earn, the more you pay, and the more you earn, the less you pay.
Amy Hanauer is the executive director of the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, a nonprofit that researches how to create more equitable tax systems.
The bottom fifth of taxpayers in Florida, people earning less than $20,000 a year, pay 5 times more of their income in state and local taxes than the top 1% in the state, people earning an average of $3.3
Too many
million.
numbers.
You know, and it's not just the lowest income either. Like for the bottom 40% of earners, you pay a higher tax rate in Florida than you do in the rest of the country on average. Does that sound fair to you? Like, let that soak in.
Sorry, can't hear you over the sound of my $20 rooftop marg, Amy. Fun
Yum.
numbers, though. The outsized tax burden on the lower and middle
$8
class
for a
is just
margarita.
one of the things making it increasingly increasingly
It's not
difficult
that
for
bad.
everyday Miamians
That's
to afford
pretty
to live
bad.
there anymore. South Florida has the second
Okay.
worst inflation rate of any metropolitan area in the U.S., and the state as a whole has car insurance prices that are 55% higher than the national average. And to take a step back, Miami already had one of the
Make up
worst
that
wealth
tax
gaps in the
income
country,
somehow.
even before half of Goldman's equity traders schlepped their banker bags down here. These historical trends, combined with the more recent wave of professionals moving in, has caused Miami's luxury real estate market to explode, putting a huge strain on the county's housing system.
No, it's doing the
building a bunch
thing.
of rental housing, and
They're
as things
they're
started,
doing a
like,
thing.
ratcheting up
No.
in Miami, it suddenly became almost like unaffordable for them to do middle income or lower income housing because the land became so expensive. Just like all the tremendous amount of capital that has made its way down here, you know, it's like insane, really.
A big swath of the new luxury demand is being driven by hedge fund employees whose firms have relocated. One Sotheby's agent recently said that most of the luxury homes he sold in summer 2023 were to hedge fund buyers, about half of which were Citadel employees.
And so it creates a problem, obviously, for the middle and lower classes to find housing in this area, despite the fact that there's so many jobs. Like, we actually have the lowest unemployment rate in the entire country right now. We have all these jobs, but we don't have houses to put all these people in to do the jobs.
Not to mention that if you are one of the lucky few who's able to buy a home, finding insurance is another can of worms.
So it's become pretty intense. So many insurers have
not even
exited,
Florida's
and it's
fault.
created a really
Yeah.
tough situation for a lot of people who
The
actually,
environment.
like, if you own your home outright, often what people do is that they just drop their insurance altogether.
And they're just living without
They're
insurance.
living without insurance. What
They're raw
doing, a lot
dogging
of
it?
them
What?
is they're saving
Huh.
money on their own.
Now, it would be easy to
'cause,
pin
like,
this
banks
housing
require you
crisis
to
on
have
all the
insurance,
hedge
but
fund middle managers who just
for
want to
your
live
home
in tropical Westchester.
But
Wealthy
if you
people
own-
wanting to live
if you
in
paid
nice
off the loan, you don't
neighborhoods
have to do
isn't
that.
new.
Yeah.
It certainly isn't unique to Miami.
Yeah,
What
but-
is unique to Miami is that unlike the cities it's often compared to, there's little infrastructure or policy in place to maintain a baseline level of affordable housing.
Wall Street exists in New York City, which has vast housing policies. They have rent control. They have, tons of subsidized housing. I mean, a lot of people would argue they need more, but they have like actual structure and policies around these things. Singapore, the government is very involved in making sure that people have a place to live. They have policies beefing this up and making it so that you're not left assed out on the street.
And you're saying Miami does not?
We have, we do not have that. That's not in the DNA of what we do here. You know, not to say there's nothing going on. The county government especially has been pumping a lot of new money into developments, but it's all on the private market. The local government retains no ownership. It's nothing compared to any of these other cities that we're talking about.
Which is how we arrive at Miami's fundamental problem today. It is a city with
This
an
video has radicalized
unquenchable
me, and it was
thirst for
already
growth,
radicalized.
But it doesn't have the land.
Yeah, I know,
the
right? Isn't that
policy,
fun
or
to get
the
increasingly
infrastructure
radicalized?
to keep growing sustainably.
Growth is
Don't
our
you just
number
want to
one
go
industry,
fucking
and
insane?
It is a peninsula. That means we have finite amount of space in real estate, and we are already way overextended. Our roads cannot handle the numbers that we already had, let alone the numbers that we now have and will have in the future. Our
So bad I did yoga on the highway.
There's so many levels of I hate them, but also this is a good point.
What sucks though is that even if the city like got their shit together.
Also, I just realized
state
you
has to
really
approve it.
Hey, side note, you really shouldn't do yoga on the highway. That's uncovered asphalt in the Miami heat. That is scorching.
Yeah.
Our sewage system is older than the incorporation of some of these cities that people are living in here.
Oh my
There's gonna be a
God.
time you're gonna come out of your home and you're gonna be in water up to your ankles, and that's just how it's gonna be. Whether it's sea level rise, whether it's income inequality, whether it's cost of living and inflation, whether it's the quality of our leadership, we never get any answers or policies that impact the vast majority of us. It's triage at this point. We're just sort of trying to delay the inevitable.
And the inevitable is?
You're going to have a place where I suppose you can have all oligarchs and nobody else. Now it feels
Oligarchy.
like for a time in which no Cubans live in Little Havana, no Haitians live in Little Haiti, no Bahamians live in Little Bahamas or West Grove, no Dominicans live in Little Santo Domingo of Allapattah. The people who built Miami will not be able to afford to live here.
As the locals who have made Miami what it is continue to be pushed out of town, it's easy to
Increasingly
wonder
fucked up.
what's being lost.
How have you seen this manifest through the culture of the city? Have you seen more, I mean, we talk about new buildings being developed in Miami like crazy.
Well, we're doing a lot more explainers.
Oh.
Oh.
Shit. It was in this moment that I realized my own presence here is as good an economic indicator as any that the people who built this city are in danger of being priced out. Because when the fake explainer journalists from New York come to town to make content about your city, that's when you know you are totally fucked. If only there was an appropriate way for me to make it up to the wonderful muchachos of this
The self-awareness
endangered
sucks.
urban oasis.
Good
Maybe I'll move
barometer.
here.
Am I fucked? Is there a journalist coming here?
But of course, no
pretends to be a real
investigation was
journalist, but is
complete
actually
without
an internet
speaking to
fucking
Good Works
What?
South Florida real estate correspondent Maya Vander. Maya is a real estate agent and former star of Netflix's Selling Sunset. She used to split her time between LA and Miami, but recently committed to Florida a few years ago to spend more time with her family and ride Miami's luxury
I love the shitty cropping for this.
real estate wave.
So you see that? Like I'm just pointing
literally
for your
like
B-roll.
Is there any employees from any particular industry that tend to want to move here?
You will see in general, because the schools are so great,
What is that
the
fucking
finance people, attorneys, private
I don't want to
equity,
click on any of them.
hedge funds, but yeah, definitely finance.
How do you see the city evolving with a lot of these
Okay,
new
cool.
cars
Thanks.
entering in?
I think it's if you drive around
He's a real one for this, honestly.
You're going into the Four Seasons right down the street on Bayshore. They're going to start at 3,000 per square foot,
I was
which
like,
3
wait a
years
minute, that
ago,
bar
I mean,
looks
if
a
you
little
tell
off.
someone 3,000 per square foot, they will tell you, no way, Jose.
I should do this at some point.
And you know what? They are getting it. I think it's just going to grow from now. And some people cannot afford Miami.
Oh, these are real,
They're
though.
moving away from the
That's
city.
pretty.
As always, Maya,
That's
you
pretty good,
hit the
actually.
nail on the fucking head.
I have to ask, was it ever hard to tell Jason and Brett apart?
Never. Gosh, no, I can always tell them apart. And they are great.
I've been sleepless some nights thinking of that.
Okay. We're going from radicalization to abandoning tech altogether and going to live as a farmhand.
Oh, which one is
technically. It's about the people make games video.
The one about how the game industry is just fucked.
No, about farming esports.
Farming Simulator
Oh, hell
has its own competitive
Farming
esports
simulator,
league. For the last several months,
esports.
I followed it across Europe in order to answer the following.
I actually got engaged from this.
Possible. Isn't this a game about, you know,
I mean, I got engaged intellectually. I haven't gotten engaged yet.
No, you're married to Jill.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, see, you gotta remember your
No. You don't get it. You you don't get it. She's my wife, but we're not engaged.
Yeah, because you're already married.
Yeah.
You don't need to be engaged.
Is that how this works?
Yes, you were engaged and then you got married, and now you're no longer engaged. You're just married.
We're just married.
Yeah, it's like a transitional period.
I have to catch myself. It's hard.
tractors? Following this rabbit hole would lead me to 3 different countries. I'd experience my very own Rocky-styled training montage.
Esports.
With a variety of actual farmers, and eventually, without any sense of irony, I'd find myself getting really quite into Pro Farming Simulator. I'm as surprised as you are, honestly. My journey began at Gamescom last year, where hundreds of thousands of people come to shuffle around its halls, hoping
Only
to
Europeans would play
the
a
most
game like
anticipated games before
Positive.
anybody else.
No, you're wrong.
Me, I
know for a fact that you're wrong.
That's an actual tractor. I was here to
Have you not seen people go nuts over the new farming simulator stuff?
Yeah, those are all German dudes.
You sure?
Probably.
Hold
most
on.
of them are.
Hold on. Before we go deeper into the video. ESL, you're wrong.
ESL is a fucking Saudi Arabian organization. What are you talking about?
God dang it. Wait, what? Epic?
Our guide to watching the farmers. Why does Epic have an article on this?
Why does
just look who the top players are? Is there a Wikipedia article on this?
You know what?
There probably isn't. I doubt they have a team in this.
Oh, no.
Anyway, just look at like farming simulator teams. Yeah, no, let's check the league.
To be honest, that's a lot. This is pretty good because it's straight up supported by the
Teams right there. Teams.
This is pretty good because it's already supported by the
There's German names right there at the top.
Okay,
Alma.
fine.
It's Germans. It's always the Germans. The German people love this shit.
Deer needs to get involved.
No, or maybe not. Maybe they shouldn't be.
But I mean, here's the worst part. This has more support than the Overwatch League. This currently is still happening.
I mean, the Overwatch League literally just had a big event in Dallas, no?
And no, they disbanded. They disbanded. That's the team.
The new thing. What's the new Overwatch thing that replaced OWL?
Nothing.
No, they did.
Unless you mean the OW World Cup, which I don't know why it would be hosted in Dallas.
Hold on.
Okay, while you find that.
Overwatch Championship Series, the OWCS. They literally had one at Dallas. I literally walked past it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's different. They just went back. They pivot.
No, that's the replacement for OWL.
No, what I'm saying is it's scaled back instead of being league format.
Yeah, they scaled back because the demand wasn't there, and it was a shitty idea.
And I'm sad. Anyway, hold on. Let's keep going back because
Season 5 of the Farming Simulator League.
Look at it go. German antics.
Literally, I told you it's all
Unfortunately,
German.
the live commentary was in German, and so
it is Gamescom.
A bit tricky to follow what was going on at times. However, this bit did seem quite exciting.
Yo!
Oh my god.
That was kind of cool.
The Farming Simulator League was established by Giant Software, the creators of Farming Simulator, in 2019, and today it consists of a dozen or so teams, many of whom are sponsored by real-world farming brands. There's no FaZe Clan over here, folks. We're talking about Trelleborg Tires, Lindner, and Halm, a German chemical company which makes things like fertilizer. And there's money too, more money than you might be expecting. This year's season has a total prize pool of 200,000 euros.
That's a good.
Actually work? What even is
a good amount of
competitive
money.
game of Farming Simulator? Let's start with the basics. This isn't about managing an actual estate like you do in the core game. Instead, it's a bespoke, almost speedrun adjacent setup in which two teams of 3 players compete on uncannily symmetrical farms, with the winning team
the symmetrical maps
at the end of each round. How do they score points? Bales into bonds, baby. I really tried to make that.
You literally just
sound
get hay and then make it
Here's
into
one of the
bales.
team's bonds, right? You'll notice it has 2 entrances, a big one at the bottom and then this one up here, which can only be reached via a conveyor belt. Bales that get dropped off at the bottom typically net a team 10 points apiece, but get your bales up top and a multiplier gets involved. How does that multiplier work? Well, to answer that question, we need to consider for a moment how a straw bale actually gets made. It's not funny. If we jump over to the wheat field on one of our maps, you'll see a player cutting through it with a combine harvester, leaving a nice plump line of straw in its wake. A second player can then hoover this up using something called a baler, and hey presto, you've got yourself some bales of straw. However, you know this, I know this, wheat is not just farmed for straw. If anything, that's the byproduct.
Games Done Quick is in the recommended channels.
Grain. As that combine has been pottering around the field, chewing up everything in its path, it's steadily filling its mechanical gullet with grain, which can then be poured out into a trailer. Ideally, this is done on the move, like some kind of cool stunt from the Fast and the Furious, but slower and calmer. Take that trailer to the silo, empty it there, and you've got yourself that all-important multiplier.
I know, right? It's colored and everything.
It's even better than this, because as your multiplier goes up, your opponent's is going down by the same amount. And so, with proper communication, you can ensure that your team's bales are being scored when your multiplier is at its very peak. And ultimately, by the time we reach the mid to late game, where both teams have dropped off all the grain they're going to harvest, and now are focusing on bales, whoever collected the most will just end up with a significant multiplier advantage, which may make all the difference. But wait, there's more. Competitive Farming Simulator has, I kid you not, a pick and ban phase for tractors before the match begins. There are team and player perks to consider, mid-game power-ups.
There's perks.
The speed of the conveyor belts can be increased or even totally stopped in their tracks, and the bridges leading to the barns can be raised and lowered, which is just a Smash Brothers-ass feature that will hopefully see your opponent losing 150 grand's worth of agricultural machinery into a moat.
No!
But to give you some idea of why this all actually might work as a spectator sport, let me tell you about one of the most hype moments in a game of competitive Farming Simulator.
Sweet. Hype moments?
Or as I like to call it, the Barnstormer. You see, when a match begins, each team spawns into a starting area that's fenced in, and after a short countdown, its gates will spring open and it'll be time to farm. To really make the most out of that countdown, each player should have been using it to build up momentum, ready to fly out of their respective gate at a whopping top speed of like, I don't know, 40 miles an hour or something. They are tractors, after all.
It's pretty fast for a
Most of the game
tractor, I
is about
thought.
getting bales into that upper section of the barn, like we talked about. But for the very first one, that's not the case. For one bale only, you can sling it in via the main entrance and get a gigantic multiplier for doing so. A multiplier that has been steadily ticking down from the moment the game began. And so, this means players have needed to perfect the art of scoring exactly one bale as quickly as possible. Here's how they do it. You've heard some of this before. Someone on the team will jump into a combine harvester and begin forging a path through one of the wheat fields, leaving a tight trail of straw behind them. While that's happening, a second player couples their tractor with a baler, races over to them, and follows the path they've carefully sliced through the field. Once they've sucked up enough straw to create that first bale and no more, they pull off and absolutely hoon it towards the barn. And now, here's where things get a little bit spicy. As the player approaches the barn at exactly the right moment, they activate their baler, which begins slowly excreting its bale out of the back. And if timed correctly, if the driver gets the angle just right, they should drop this load just as the tractor hurtles past the barn at full speed, depositing it for maximum points. But if you get that timing anything less than perfect, if your angles are off by just a fraction, the bale will instead fall limply outside its desired home, and you'll need to slam on the brakes, turn around, and nose it back into place with your tractor, costing you points and just so much dignity in the process.
Incredible.
It's not exactly the 2006 FA Cup final, but it is something. So I enjoyed quite a bit of what I saw during my Gamescom trip, but to properly
There's so many
get the
people
sport,
in seats.
I need a team to root for, someone to get behind, you know? That's what was missing. And so I turned to one of the games media's most often overlooked print publications for some inspiration. That's Farming Simulator, the official magazine.
They just have these, I guess.
I
I forgot that they had these.
A rather provocative article on We Control, I have to say. I found this, a profile on one of the league's up-and-coming teams, New Holland. Previously known as Le Fermier Flamboyant, this plucky team is credited here with disrupting the league's metagame in the last season, thanks to, and I quote, a grain-centric strategy built around something called the Big Haul. I wasn't totally sure why, but there was something about this profile that
We got strat names and the phrase changing the metagame.
Lads, at a training session they had planned.
We're getting
in Paris.
esports.
New
We're getting
Holland, it
slowly
turns out, was
esports
actually
about
going
it.
through some big changes just as I arrived.
Player named Cygnus, age 23.
Favorite thing about being French, baguette.
Baguette.
Complain about everything. I don't like this question. Our capacity to launch a strike is just because our croissant tastes different.
French.
It's
Changing the
been
farm
together for a
metagame.
little while now, but one of their more experienced players, Joseph, would not be able to compete in their next tournament, and so he was being subbed out for a brand new member of the team, the 21-year-old Theo. Now, Joseph and Theo both play baler, meaning it's their job to create as many straw bales as possible and then shunt them over to the barn in good time.
Do you think Logic? Do you think they're like? Oh, they are they're probably getting sponsorships from like
it's also
esports.
With a jersey with a
crucial.
Yeah, they're getting Logitech
Intrigued to get a sense
sponsors.
for what that actually means.
Intel
Joseph to coach me
sponsorship?
as I played alongside the rest of the team and tried this elusive maneuver for myself.
Full speed.
Full speed.
And I will tell you when to press Y.
Okay. I approached the barn with my heart racing. Could I pull this off?
Full speed, full speed, full speed, full speed, full speed.
Ah.
pop-off.
The pop-off is real. I could at least tell that that was intense and pretty cool of a maneuver, I'll be real.
This was perhaps one of the greatest sporting moments of my entire life. Unfortunately, the rest of my session with the team didn't go quite so well, as I struggled to follow Joseph's seemingly straightforward instructions.
Oh, this is bad wheat. You have to judge.
What do you mean bad wheat? There's bad weeds!
Oh, is it because there's green in there?
Yeah, like I guess it either went bad or it's not.
Yeah, go on.
Or I think it's that it's not ready yet. Do a flip.
What I wanted to point out, I'd hate for this to sound like an excuse,
But the keyboard.
but that keyboard layout is like wildly different. It's quite similar. It's quite similar.
It's
But,
the
like,
French.
It's
the French setup.
W's down here?
Ah, because, yeah, it's French.
But it was genuinely such a pleasure to play with these guys, and in fact, if you're a PMG patron, you can watch the full training session in all its glory as a thank you for supporting our work. And
Ho 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 ho, baguette. Our keyboard is wrong.
Games to find out more. New Holland also
A is where Q is. Ha ha.
which involves essentially amassing a dragon's hoard of grain.
No, it does.
Higher multiplayer than their opponents.
It's just funny.
Even at the expense of other parts of their game.
How can
Big
it make
Hall is
sense
the
if
name
the
of a
home
team
row
perk
should
that
be
they'll
on
usually
baguette?
select, which gives them access to this massive trailer, which they'll then look to fill with grain using not one, but 2 combine harvesters at the same time.
Yo.
Please let me know that in French, this is actually referred to as a ménage à trois. I hope I've said that right. I haven't really through Google Translate, but I'll take his word for it. Does it work? I have absolutely no idea, but we'll soon be finding out as we follow them into their next event. Before I left Paris, however, I had to ask, what do other people make of them being pro farming simulator players? Like, esports is one thing, but what did their friends and family say when
Being
they
into
told them they
being esports isn't
harvest
one
wheat
thing. Being
at
into
a
farming
competitive
esports is
level?
like
They love.
the niche
they
of
love
the
a lot.
niche.
We say we're tractor player. We play tractor.
At the beginning, when Sinis sent me a message to play in the team and to substitute.
You're an esports player? Top,
was like,
bottom, mid support? No.
No, I don't want
Combine
to
harvester?
Usually, when you talk about farming simulator esport to people who know esport, they're like, there is esport in farming simulator. You're yes, and you do tournament. Yes, and you travel to Europe. Yes, and you earn money. Yes. What is this?
And then we start to explain the multiplicators, the bales, you have to harvest, you only have 10 minutes, there is bonus. Yeah. We didn't...
I do have to say, 10-minute match time? That's pretty good for esports.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's watchable. It's not Dota.
So it's like there is a draft. The draft is always like the crazy part.
Jesus Christ.
Too long.
Some esports too long. Some esports
actually it's,
I can't pay attention to because there's like 14 rounds and I'm like, why?
A good date thing. When you talk it, it breaks the ice, always.
Reeling at this.
Oh, they didn't cut back to the other thing. I just wanted to mention. No. More French. Hey, Eiffel Tower, right there.
Well, no, I said that earlier.
I didn't see it.
It's actually,
Sorry.
it breaks the ice, always.
Reeling.
Yeah, but croissant and a rock star.
Pros, I left New Holland for a practice session and headed back home. I may have arrived in Paris.
French
journalist,
esports.
But I left the city as a New Holland fan. These were my boys. I'd
My
follow
boys.
them anywhere. Or more specifically, I'd follow them to an event they'd be competing in at an upcoming agricultural machinery show in the West Midlands. Nestled away within this labyrinth of tractors and real-life farmers drinking real-life pints was the next round of the farming simulation. This was easily the strangest place I'd ever watched live esports. In fact, before I caught up with New Holland,
Funny
I was
venue.
keen to hear what the British farming community made of this strange addition.
We get to ask
show.
British people about the French.
No, it isn't. Yeah, the tractors and the equipment we know, yeah.
Is that good?
Is that good modern fleet? Yeah, they're all good, yeah, it's all modern.
I mean, the challenges that you have on a farm, whether it be safety, whether it be certainly agronomically.
Does any of this look recognisable to what you do in your real life?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Indistinct British.
Yeah, right. What's happening in Germany right now?
There's protests.
Oh,
work. What makes it so difficult? I think the distance between the consumer and the producer.
Right. Are you familiar with New Holland?
Yeah, we know New Holland. Yeah,
we have. Is it good? Is it good?
It's a good brand. Yeah. It's a good brand.
I don't know much
No,
about tractors.
New Holland's good. Yeah, no, don't worry about that.
An esports journalist tried to talk to farmers.
Yeah.
But I wasn't just here to look at big tractors.
Such a
and
weird
pretend I was
thing.
driving them like a real grown-up farmer. I met up with the guys.
I know what I'm doing.
Arrived
No, I don't.
outside.
Okay, we're outside the NEC. It's very cold, so we'll try and keep this brief. Cygnus, you're about half an hour away from the tournament starting. How are you feeling?
I'm really excited to play. Like I really want to play. Yeah. And
I'm weirdly upset that these kids are younger than us and are making money through esports.
Who's up first? Do you know who your first opponent is?
This always happens for some reason.
Yeah.
Who are tied with us at second place.
Did they just walk past them? Is that
Yeah,
them?
they just walk past us. We can see them on the background.
They look scared. To me.
I think they are scared.
Yeah, look at them in their big coats, warm. No, I'm just talking about myself.
2-0,
2-0. Okay, cool.
2-0. Let's go.
So your first tournament, you still feeling good? Where's your mind at?
If I do a really good first bail,
Yeah,
it will
the
be
first
very
bail. First
important
bail,
for me.
first
Yeah,
match.
first bail,
No
it
pressure.
will be so important for me because I can snowball.
Okay.
So I think it's the more important for me.
They seemed calm enough, sort of. I mean, they were saying all the right things, but you could feel some nervousness.
Those
in the
jerseys?
air. Doing well
Oh, those
in
are
the tournament
jerseys.
today and tomorrow meant points for the league table, but it also meant the winning team walking away with 15,000 euros as well. As the tournament began,
Is that a lot of money
into
split
our
between
seats,
them?
And we're absolutely delighted to be featured
Not
on
really,
the official Farming
right?
Simulator
It's
League
not
broadcast
nothing.
within moments of doing so.
A couple grand.
The last game tomorrow, so we had this like a double final, but now we have changed that to best of 5 final, and the team that is coming from the upper bracket is going to be getting like a 1 match advantage. On that one. So you want to stay in the on the upper bracket. We can see some audience pictures there as well. We do have some Farming Simulator magazines on their hands.
All right, my
He got a shout out on the on the
They're
cast.
up against Vultra, which is the team. They're currently neck and neck in the league tables. They both got the same points. So if they win this one, it's a pretty big deal. In fact, I would say they have to. And
I feel like the sponsorship money would at least
the thing
give
I'm
them
particularly,
a nicer,
most nervous about, maybe more nervous than the team.
a nicer
I really want to
income, I
see Theo,
suppose.
the young buck, the new member of the team, land that first bail. I feel like he needs the confidence boost, he needs the hit, and it will be plain sailing after that. So first bail,
like being at
Theo.
part of Shop
The game started well for New Holland as
Or
they
Moist
pinched the
Esports.
Combine Harvester just
Yeah.
before Vulture could get to it, leaving one of their players scrambling to find an alternative and wasting valuable seconds. Our lads, however, were perfectly primed to land a really quick first bail with a hefty multiplier. It was all up to young Theo now, or Fatu as he's known in-game.
Points out of it. So let's see. Pato.
Oh, look at him go. Look how reckless he's going.
Can be 140 actually, easily. 145 is still doable if he's going to swing that in.
Yeah.
And it's
Yo.
gonna be 56. Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Fantastic.
No one else cheered.
The 146, that is the highest first bail.
Impartiality
So even
destroyed.
Hell wasn't
People
able to
making
do better.
his credibility
Vulture's first
ruined
bail was a
because of Farming
disaster by
Simulator.
comparison.
Oh
Not
shit,
the
that
serious
actually...
stuff, it was that bad. New Holland couldn't be off to a better start. The remainder of the round was really defined by the 2 team perks that had been selected. Our guys were of course running their trademark big haul play, but Vultra had grabbed something called Unstoppable. Now Unstoppable is all about the conveyor belt. If you have it, your team's belt runs faster than the other side, and on top of this, your belt can't be stopped.
Wild ass driving over
Well,
here.
it's unstoppable, I suppose. If you deliver too much too quickly before the other team has unloaded at least some grain on their end, you can end up slowing down and eventually even disabling your conveyor belt if you're not paying attention to what's happening. And yet, this is exactly what New Holland did next.
I don't quite understand why, when you're going up against Unstoppable, you deliver enough grain to stop your own belt.
And so here they are with a 3x multiplier, which is the highest it can go, but no clear way of getting their bales up to the top entrance to actually score any points.
Damn.
But let's not forget that this team, my team, used to be called Les Fermiers Flamboyants.
At that point, you've got to do this. You then have to drive your tractor up and score points this way.
Good comment. Get all in, all 3 of them. Yes! With the multiplier, that's going to be 42.
Now they're ahead.
Yeah, that's like a 126 points right there.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Vultra ends up dropping some more grain eventually, which, I don't know, might
They're
not
in the
be right
lead,
move on their
so that's
part,
good.
because it means New Holland's belt does at least start moving again, although at an outrageously slow speed. Again, my lads, away.
72 points right there. So yeah, Peter is doing a good job. Actually, a very good job, to be honest.
And there's really no coming back from that. Vultra would go on
It's a pretty
to
good-
just one bale less than New Holland, but look at the difference in points.
To go. So New Holland, they will claim the first match of the series. And Valtteri, they had a difficult start, to be honest.
For round 2, both New
Fair,
Holland and
I
Vultra
suppose.
are forced to select new team perks, as you're only allowed to use each perk once per game.
Yo, there's a
Both
captain?
sides instead select something called Bottleneck, which permanently raises some of the other team's bridges. But really, what this means for New Holland is they now need to prove they can win games without just relying on Big Haul. Theo lands another strong first bale at 139 compared to Vultra's 122. And then, well, it was a pretty slow start to the round after that, with both sides concentrating on grain, and in fact, neither team even attempted to score a bale for the first 2/3 of the game. A viable strategy, but not necessarily a crowd.
Damn, we hate slow
Anyway,
strats.
my guys don't need to be flashy. They were here to win.
2 minutes to go. New Holland, they have a, let's
Don't
say,
you hate it when
lead.
boring
I mean,
strats win in
It's
esports?
not that big, but I would say it's still comfortable, to be honest. I mean, because they have been performing pretty
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
They have fails.
And that was the story of the game, really. A comfortable victory, if a little less exciting to spectate than the previous round. But with that win under their belt, New Holland can...
Yay! They won the series.
All right, lads, you just smashed the first game, 2-0. First bale both times as well. I don't think I've ever been. It was like you were my son out there. I've never been that proud. Yeah, 146 on the first one.
Yeah.
What was the second one? Do you remember?
139.
This
because,
guy.
it was against bottleneck, so we
Right.
don't have the middle bridge and.
Right, this guy. You gotta be pretty pleased
Yeah,
with
for
him.
the first tournament, it's perfect. Like we come ready. He shows that he's ready because when you have a new
Good
player,
first
you
tournament
can be
performance.
Like, maybe they are not strong enough because this is a new player.
Yeah.
But he shows that he's better than the previous one.
Sure. Wow. I just took that. Who was it who drove the free bales up when there was the 3 times multiplier?
Yeah, it's
pretty sick, man. Pretty sick.
It's a technique like all players should know how to play it, but few teams don't know.
Guys, this game is easy. You've got it. If you just keep doing exactly that for the rest of the day. Like, it's Helm next as well, right?
Yeah.
So Helm is the league leaders, world champions from last time. It's almost the final before the final. Is that right?
Yeah.
And if I remember right, Helm is what, a fertilizer producer?
Yeah. We know we can beat them. They know they can beat us. So we'll do our best, and I think we are ready.
Helm are the clear favourites to win this tournament, it needs to be said. They're a German team, and well, I'm not wild about the stereotype that I'm going to reinforce here, but they're just...
Very German.
They're really, really efficient.
Damn.
There is no single part of their game which they specialise in, really, like we have in New Holland. It's just, well, it's everything. They consistently make more bales and score more bales than all the other teams.
They press bales faster than anybody else does.
Now, interestingly, both teams have opted for Big Haul in this first round, with near identical tractor setups too. I think Helm is sending a message to my boys here that reads, "We can play your strategy better than you can." Honestly, I respect the flex. Now, both New Holland and Helm start off a little shaky, with players on both sides getting picked to a vehicle that they need, meaning those first bales come in a little bit late, and in fact, Theo misses his drop and needs to go back and nudge it in. There's only 3 points between them in the end, but mentally, I worry that could have left a mark.
Both teams having a surprisingly slow start.
Bad mental,
It's
bad
New
mental.
Holland that eventually wins this tug of war in the end, thanks to a somewhat fortunate power-up that drops, leaving them with a final multiplier of 2.1 compared to Helm's 1.9.
Ooh.
A mishap from either side here would likely decide the round.
Even getting caught on the bridge.
Ah, shit.
Even having the bales.
No.
Something like this, you mean?
Despite this, my guys managed a 100-point lead with a minute or so left to go, and it seemed like they were about to pull off the biggest upset of the tournament so far.
Ah, tight game.
Then Helm did what Helm do. They simply had more bales on the field, and in the final moments, that's all that really mattered.
And how have they done that in the last seconds?
Wow. 40 points.
They will come back and they will get the first game. For a while it seemed that they can't pull that off, but they did.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's the fact that they just press so many bales in the dying moments of matches that it overwhelms other teams. It's incredible.
Round 2 began with a successful Helm first bale, and then this.
Oh no, he's missed!
Both teams ended up neck and neck when it came to grain and their multiplayers, but elsewhere an enormous gap was starting to reveal itself.
I'm looking at this now and going, how have Helm got 5 more bales than New Holland have at this stage?
And things just got worse and worse from there. Watching the game live, it was difficult to pick a specific moment where Helm had suddenly wrestled control of the game away from New Holland, but it had happened quietly, and somehow, inevitably, they played the better game.
Helm are going to take this match 2-0, and we have another straight victory.
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0.
So Helm, they will keep their place on the upper bracket. It means that also New Holland's going to be dropping on the lower bracket at the same time as well.
My team spirit had been broken with that one, and it was hard to see. They'd been knocked into the losers bracket, which meant they could still win the tournament, but it was going to be a difficult road to get there, and if they lost just one more game, that was it. They were going home. Eager to lift their spirits, Quins and I took to the show floor in the hopes that we could find something, anything, to give them a bit of a morale boost.
What is that creature?
Games. Now, what was meant to be a quick whirl around the convention soon got very, very silly, and I don't want to derail this video too much, but well, we filmed the whole thing, and if you're a PMG patron, you can also watch that whole thing unfold, whatever it is.
There were a variety of reactions I was expecting to have from drinking the free convention milk. This was not one of them.
Yo, free milk.
We found just what we've been looking
Neat.
for. The New Holland trade stand, as in New Holland, the actual farming machinery manufacturer worth billions and billions of dollars. I approached their front desk to let them know how their team was getting on.
We're doing a documentary on the New Holland farming simulator team. Farming simulator.
Do they not even know that they're there?
Honestly, it didn't seem like
The exhibitors probably don't even fucking.
I just think it's funny.
No, it is funny, but that's.
The following
This
morning,
is
we shared this video
every
with the lads.
single.
Wait,
Hello, I'm Stephen O'Clan. I'm the UK product demonstrator for New Holland.
Hi, I'm Emma Bradley. I'm the brand's communication and marketing intern.
And we
An intern.
representing the New Holland team in the Farming Simulator League.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Motivational.
You know what? I think this might just have been exactly what
To
they
even
did.
have graphics for first bail.
0 and the next, cruising through their opponents in the losers bracket like a well-oiled combine through so much noise, which brought them face to face with Trelleborg Tires in the semi-final of this tournament. If they could win this game, they would get another shot at Helm and a chance to win that €15,000
I like that.
prize. You know it already by now.
My favorite thing
Helm
about
was
this
the
video
team
is
that got
just the
big
narrative.
ball
This
with their
narrative is
game
so
plan.
good.
Fatu lands the first bale, stepping up once again just when his team needs him the most, while Trelleborg's baler has what I would personally describe as an absolute mare. New Holland noticed he'd not delivered the first bale yet and picked up a power-up to raise the bridge at the end there, it's worth noting. Incredibly disruptive play. Love it.
Blocked from getting back out there, so that slowed him down as well. This is a horrible start.
Insane play.
Trelleborg.
And then, of course, Team Big Hall does its thing.
Masterful play from New Holland. That is New Holland getting that 2.7 multiplier and holding it there to score as many points with as big a multiplier as they can.
This was maybe their best round of the entire tournament.
that's-
with some very
ooh.
confident control of the multipliers throughout. Just one more
Honestly, just from the scoring,
in the final.
seemed like a smoke
And
show.
New Holland will be happy to claim the first game of the series, and of course that's going to be one more obstacle taken away from the path to go to the grand final.
But something had changed. Even from the first bale of the second round, you could feel it. Everything had suddenly shifted somehow. And our multiplier kings somehow end up at just 1.8 as they enter the endgame compared to Trelleborg's 2.2.
On y'all.
The gap is pretty big for Trelleborg, to be honest. I don't know if New Holland can still catch that up. They will try to do everything they can. There's going to be a couple more bales, 5 seconds to go.
Oh, no,
it's very awfully close.
No!
And that one bale is not going to go in.
Oh.
With a very, very small gap difference.
That was one each, taking New Holland and Trelleborg Tires into a final decider.
Yo. Game
I was
5.
bricking it. Things
Or
didn't start
Game
perfectly
3.
with Fatu being pipped to his baler, losing valuable seconds in the process, but somehow he does still manage to squeak in the first bale just before Trelleborg can get there. Now it's Trelleborg's turn to use Big Hall this time around, meaning they do get an early lead on the multiplayer and are actually able to take advantage of that before New Holland can really claw it back, with one player driving up the belt with a full set of bales.
Now they've got 6 bales sitting there.
Trelleborg game.
And New Holland have
Thank you
yet
for
to score any
redeeming.
bales.
Thank you for another month. Oh my god, 44 months? We're almost at 48.
Any player could
4
see their
years.
team's chances of receiving a novelty check for 15,000 euros disappear like grain into a silo. New Holland grab the bottom boost power up, meaning they're able to score bales on the ground level and still get the multiplier, which they take full advantage of, but still the points gap is so close. And then I hear it. The words you just never want to hear in this game.
Yeah, it is looking a bit scary how many bells actually Trelleborg has around the belt, and they're
No.
points as well, and we're almost starting the last minute, so this is looking actually very good for Trelleborg. But they don't have the bells. They don't have the bells. It's done.
No.
We'll be going to the grand final for sure. We still have 10 seconds to go, but there's just no chance at all that New Holland can do it anymore.
The bales that have come in for Trelleborg in the last few seconds has been immense, and it's going to be 100 points that they
Oh,
there we go.
damn.
That was it. I was gutted. Genuinely gutted. But that, I think, is the sign that something had changed during these 2 days in Birmingham. When I watched the previous tournament at
He has the esports Is this like the generic esports pose that everybody does when they lose?
I think is the sign that
That one?
No, because well, okay, maybe I am a bad.
I feel like this is
because I watched a lot of StarCraft.
I feel like this is the
two opposite extremes.
I feel like this is the pose of like losing. Like just like somebody's like actually disappointed in their performance or something.
Your name is simple.
in Birmingham. When I watched the previous tournament at Gamescom, I was curious, sure, but I didn't really feel anything about what I'd watched. Not something deep down anyway. That was no longer the case.
He's invested. He's a fan now.
Emotional attachment to your team.
He's played the
I want to
game.
say the most is I came into
So he knows, he
video,
gets it.
and learning about Farming Simulator League, kind
I
of
might need to
skeptical
make you
that I
watch StarCraft.
would get it. It
Okay,
felt very
do I have to?
outside of the stuff that I usually watch.
Maybe just
you
one
three
match.
lads.
I can watch StarCraft.
I've had
It's
such a good time
it's just
watching
like
you, and so, like,
I haven't
outside of the
in
result
ages.
itself,
Yeah.
It's been personally so fun watching you three compete. I just wanted to say that before anything else. How are you feeling?
For me, it was my first tournament, so I'm a bit disappointed and confused about the lose in semi-final, of course, because I want to win. But I think I'm pretty proud of my tournament because it was my first one.
Yeah.
And I'm with two beautiful teammates, so it's incredible. It's an incredible experience.
There's an inside joke we have on the People Make Games team, usually about Quinn's videos, honestly, in which we like to joke that he'll often pitch these stories about the most unusual left field communities in games, whether that's sex work in Second Life or the smorgasbord of things happening inside VR chat. And without a doubt, after a few weeks of speaking to people and immersing himself in their world,
I love the Kmart in
he's out
VR
the other
chat.
side a convert. I am so glad I got to experience something similar.
Have
with
you?
Farming
I've been to the
Simulator.
Kmart
It's
world.
incredibly niche, competitive.
I haven't
scene.
yet.
It's as much speed
Oh, we
running
need to do
as
that.
it is a traditional esport. Yes, Helm may be on an entirely different level to everybody else, and in case you're wondering, of course they won the tournament.
Novelty
But my
check.
lads, they've got heart, an awful lot of heart. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, if you're a PMG patron, you can right now watch my full training session with the team, as well as Quinn's and myself being really weird about farming machinery in Birmingham. So let the content continue. I could plow through all of these people. That's such a weird thought to have.
Isn't this such a weird... It's such a weird little thing, and I always love weird little communities.
Yes.
Like, that was like one of the earlier last videos, you know? Also, they did, I guess they did a video about all the murder game trends, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's like a Chinese thing or something. I heard, or started there. I don't know.
I mean, like a bunch of like I feel like murder games, like the genre of like a murder game, has been out here for like 10 years, at least 10 years, maybe 20.
If you want to talk Clue, it's been around an eternity. But...
I was thinking just straight up just Danganronpa because that's what kind of got everybody into a frenzy about it.
Oh, I guess.
You know, that's what I. Okay. Ooh, okay. Here, I want to fulfill a thing that was on the stream that I mentioned on the stream. We're gonna move on from food. Well, technically not away from food. We're going from farm to table. There, that's the best way to explain it.
Okay.
We're weird alien, and also is related to aliens.
So it turns out
aliens, specifically alien restaurants.
Alamouse.
Alamouse. Alamouse is so old.
Themed restaurants. If you don't know what these are, basically, it's a dining establishment where they decorate the entire place around some cool concept, just so they can hide the fact that their food sucks.
Love the last image in that was what? A rainforest cafe. Can you raise the volume again? Yeah.
We like our AI
generation. The fact that their food sucks. I hate them, which is why I'm visiting the weirdest themed restaurants in America to finally show the world how terrible these places are. And I'm starting at Heart Attack Grill. Y'all, the restaurant behind me is one of the most popular themed restaurants to ever exist. And for good and or bad reasons. The Heart Attack Grill is a hospital-themed
I've seen it. I did not want to get it. It seemed too. It seemed like too much for me.
Because if you weigh over 350 pounds, you get to eat here for free. Now, what's interesting
of course
is that
he
Heart
did.
Attack Grill has actually tried to expand to other places in the U.S., but every other location has been shut down, which kind of already tells you how
Why?
I don't feel like something like this can exist outside of someplace. So without further
ado, someplace like tech, yeah.
And hopefully not get a heart attack. That would be so bad. Can you imagine? Now, before I went in, I had to weigh myself on the giant scale just for fun.
Yeah, this is it's in like an outdoor mall complex.
Immediately saw this caution sign. That is not something you want to see right before you walk into a restaurant. Y'all, this place is not what I expected. Yeah, so despite the theme, this place did not look like a hospital at all. Yes, there were nurses, but I'm pretty sure regular hospitals don't have giant pill bottle decor hanging from the ceiling. It's very intense.
Huh.
There's a lot going on. Before I could go to my table, I was led into a room and told that everybody has to wear one of these patient gowns.
It's a Bitcoin ATM. Wait, hold the fuck up. I just saw somebody.
That everybody
Nikocado avocado jump scare.
Oh no. I bet you he's been here.
Oh no, look, they're in the gowns. He's been here. Also, I just realized, look at all the classic art in the background made to be about Heart Attack Grill. That one's, I think, from the French Revolution.
Yeah, that's French Revolution.
That's waves from off of Kanagawa.
Yeah, and then there's like the old farmers, but it's a Heart Attack Grill lady and a doctor.
That American Gothic is the name of the painting.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Salvador Dali painting up here.
Yeah, the clock one.
There's one hidden behind here. It's that art of the man behind the apple.
I think so. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's one with him behind a burger.
Has to wear one of these patient gowns.
Oh my god, the scream! Yo, the birth of yeah, the birth of Venus.
Venus, and
she's on a burger on a skillet. I love this art.
Had too much fun paying an artist to make all this shit.
I just realized this one actually. You saw that's the French Revolution or whatever. Ronald and the king are dead on the ground.
Amazing.
Colonel is here.
Just fast food mascots. That's amazing.
This one's very subtle, but I like it. Do you recognize this piece?
Oh, that's the one where it's like that American diner.
It's the American diner, the cafe at night, yeah. But there's a doctor there, and he's eating a burger. I want to know what this piece is because that seems intense.
Yeah.
Like I think we've identified almost every single piece of artwork here, except for maybe this one.
That's the point.
I know, it's just really fun. Like, I'll be real, like, one of the bits I wanted to do was, like, you know, when I get, like, a background for the guild house and stuff, I want pieces of art on the wall to be me and or Jill in various contemporary art like this. I think it would be funny.
I've never had to dress up like at. at a restaurant before. What the heck? So I just got seated, and I am in my hospital gown. This place is definitely interesting, but I do want to...
I just realized that in...
It's horny.
No. I just no. Look in the background. There's movie there's movie posters that are also themed around the heart attack grill. This one caught my eye specifically because it's very clearly a Star Wars parody, and Ronald McDonald is Darth Vader.
It's great.
Point out that the waitresses and the host have been super nice so far, which is good, because in order to expose how terrible these places are, I'm judging them on 3 things: the food, the service, and whether or not I'd come back. And I will admit, the service here has been pretty good. Now, not only is the restaurant
It's also like noon.
On very fatty foods.
It's noon in Vegas on a weekday.
No one's fucking here. Also, let's look at the menu and suffer.
What's that say on the bottom? Something percentage tasks for our wasteful, pathetic, illegitimate government to squander.
Oh no, that's the pricing. Cash only. Fuck. Oh no, that's why there's an ATM in there. That sucks. Actually, that's also a reason why when I went to Vegas, I did not go.
I wonder if that bit at the bottom is a joke or if they're serious.
Cash only plus 8.36% tax for our wasteful, pathetic, illegitimate government to squander. That
I feel like
sounds
that's almost written too vitriolic to be fake. But everything else is so like joke and trolly in this place.
Food tax in Vegas.
That's not that bad.
That's...
You should probably look up sales tax. Or maybe...
Yeah. That's real. That's the number. That's the number. That is, in fact, the number. If it was a joke, they just write it like a normal joke. That just seems very just incredibly vitriolic.
Just don't open a restaurant.
I know, but also, okay, let's look at this part of the menu, because we did this beforehand and we're just kind of curious, you know? Like, we did this, like, yesterday, looking at Japanese restaurants.
Had 40 bacon slices for $7.62. What the fuck?
That's... Wait. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, that's less expensive than just buying bacon at the grocery store. What?
It's probably, like, really cheap bacon.
Well, probably, yeah.
Also, they probably... I don't know.
Fries are $2? Fuck off. I just realized that the bacon slices are ordered from least to most, and that's kind of cute. Like, it's ordered in... Yeah.
Oh, you apparently, for the over 350, eat free, unlimited single bypass, but you must purchase a drink with each burger, and you have to weigh in before ordering, and you can't get it to go.
Also at the top here, we'll happily split a single, but do not split or allow sharing of larger burgers. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
That's fine, I guess. Yeah, because it'd probably be a pain to cut a burger in half that's that big and, like, not have it fall apart.
Yeah. Also, I don't like this Vegas hot dog. Just in general.
I would never have a hot dog.
I just don't like hot dogs that have, like, a bunch of toppings on it. Like, if it was like if it was like a sausage, sure, but if it's like like a Chicago hot dog that has like a shit ton of, yes. It's basically the contents of the burger on the chili dog, which is kind of lame, honestly.
Hence the name Heart Attack Grill. And they also have this challenge where if you finish their octuple.
I'm scared at the background. Look at what that says.
Half vodka jello.
24-ounce frozen cocktail.
Stoner shit.
A full liter of wine is $20.
I don't know how to pronounce that word. But if you finish the biggest burger they have on the menu,
so.
You will get wheelchaired out of the restaurant and treated like a celebrity. So because this is for a video, I have to get it. I placed my order for the octuple bypass burger, and I was pretty excited to see what this monster would look like in person. Until another nurse waited.
Octuple is 8. So 4 patties, half a pound.
Half-pound patties.
So that's a 4-pound burger. just in meat alone, let alone toppings.
In person, until another nurse waitress came by and told me about a punishment I'd have to face if I didn't finish it.
We spank you and I love it.
What? Well, I should have done more research before
Just the most honest what?
coming here. I'm gonna get spanked if I don't finish the world's most calorific burger. Yo, this probably isn't a good idea, but I'm doing some more research right now.
Do it for the content. Don't
I'm
be a
just looking
puss.
at pictures of what this
He's only looking at this up now.
burger looks like, and dear God, maybe
I could do
temple
it.
bypass
I'm not.
burger,
I could do
octuple
it.
burger looks like, and dear God.
It's the same burger. It's a single burger copied and pasted 8 times.
Here's how you tackle this. You have a very light breakfast, like a plain bagel or a piece of toast, and you drink nothing but water.
Do you want to go to Vegas together
Not eventually.
and try this?
Eventually.
You were talking to me like 2 days ago about wanting to lose weight, and you're like, today,
No,
I could take this.
You've seen The Rock's cheat day photos, right?
Yes, I've seen The Rock's cheat
Okay,
day.
yeah,
But
same
you're not The Rock.
No one eats. If you eat healthy on a vacation,
You're a cyborg twink from the future. What? You are not The Rock.
Anyway, my point is if you're eating healthy on a vacation, go fuck yourself. Eat what you want, have fun, enjoy yourself. That's eating healthy is what your work week is for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what you do here. Also, I just had a burger today, but I hadn't had any fast food at all this entire week. And I had chicken last night.
Okay, you get a pass.
Grilled chicken with capers,
Ooh.
at a restaurant, and rice pilaf. So if you eat light for breakfast, you could totally do this. I could totally do this. I could totally eat this. If it's just a burger and I can drink water, I can eat all of this. I will feel like shit and I will want to die, but I could do it.
I legitimately want to see you try.
You get spanked afterwards, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
See me suffer.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I'll give you a spank
Alright,
too. I'll hit you
my
with the
friend-
I'll hit you with the yaoi paddle once.
Oh my god.
God.
What?
Maybe it won't look as big in person.
I'm just being honest.
Who knows?
Maybe it won't
Y'all,
look
it would
good
be
as-
an understatement to say I regret
Also, that
ordering
burger's
this.
like, what,
I only
50
had a
bucks,
few
he
minutes
said?
to process.
It was like 30.
Okay, yeah. And then you can add bacon to it in case you're like a Giga Chad.
Oh well, no, it's it's clearly included. I forgot where it was.
No.
Everything that was going on because soon enough, whole.
Not bacon's included.
Those are real ass, thick ass tomato slices.
Those are some beefsteak tomatoes.
Man who's made a terrible mistake.
The image of the thin Asian man against this is such.
Dude it said he was 143 pounds outside. This man's cooked.
That's like all.
This is
How much?
Chinese and you want the black chocobo.
I've also never seen I've never seen a pint of root beer, in a can. I've never seen that big A&W can.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. That is the biggest fucking root beer A&W can I've ever seen.
How much did he weigh? You said 140.
That's what it said outside. It said 143 when he stepped on the scale. So assuming he was calibrated, this dude's fucked. There's no way.
Man's about to eat 3% of his body weight in burger.
He's fucked.
And she's so excited.
This has got to be her favorite part
Now,
of the
just
job.
for context,
She
this burger has
knows.
8 patties, 40 slices of bacon,
See?
16 slices of cheese, an entire onion, 2 whole tomatoes, and the
Entire
buns.
onion.
All totaling up to
Anti-Jill
over
burger.
20,000 calories. And you know, the only words that come to mind when
20,000 calories.
Oh, that's
is heart attack.
Okay, yeah, no,
It's
that's
bigger
cheapo
than
bacon.
my head. And
That's
my
how
head
they
is
do it.
huge.
It's
Now, before I
cheapo
can
fast
even
food
think about
bacon, and
how
the
I was
rest of
gonna
the
eat
ingredients
this,
are probably
this burger
half
and I
decent.
became a zoo animal for about 5 minutes. I'm not even joking. Everybody wanted a photo.
Everybody's bullying him.
Everyone's taking photos
How-
of this
the
because
problem
they're
is
all
it's
making
so
fun of me.
tall. How are you gonna fucking
do
eat it
this?
without taking it
Do I
apart?
just let it drop? Oh my god. I did it. So I've contemplated the different ways to eat this, and I've decided there is no correct way. I just have to go for it. Time to see how this burger tastes.
If they let
Hopefully
me,
it's good.
I could devise a
I'm
strategy
gonna
to
start with the
convince
top.
myself to eat this and not die.
If I remember right, this is also, I'm pretty sure, under a time limit.
The first bite has been accomplished. Honestly,
Is it a
not
good-
that good. Along with like the sheer size
Well, there we
of
go.
this, the taste doesn't help. It's like it's somehow dry and greasy at the same time. I don't know how that's possible. Now, even though it wasn't great,
Damn.
I didn't want to waste food, so I did my best to eat as much as I could. I already have
Speaking from an Asian, I respect that. I was like, I didn't want to waste food, so I have to force myself to eat this.
I want to see a professional.
I think I'm gonna tap. Yo, the burger is only
Take
getting worse
this
the more
on.
I eat. I never thought I
Yeah.
would say this on the
Maybe
internet,
we could
but
find this
I'm
afterwards.
about to get spanked. Now, this is probably the most humiliating thing I've ever had to do in public.
No, tangents are fine during
Everyone in the
stream.
restaurant was watching me, and also I didn't think they'd be allowed to hit me that hard. Oh, Jesus Christ! I didn't think it'd be that hard. Oh wait, what? Ow! Oh, mother of God! I have to get on an airplane after this.
You should watch Tyler once. Oh, she gave a hug.
See, this is why.
There you have it.
So yeah, I do want to give you a yaoi paddle
I'm
slap.
trying to get a souvenir from like every themed restaurant I go to, just for the memories at this point. And this is what I chose. I'm 100% sure it was more fun for other people watching me eat there than it was for me to actually eat there. And would I come back here? If we're being honest, no. I'm still in pain. So, with that being said, is Heart Attack Grill a good restaurant, or is it just a gimmick? I think we all know the answer to this one. The Heart Attack Grill is a gimmick, no questions about it. Now, after that disaster, I could only pray that the next themed restaurants would be somewhat good, especially because it's
North
all the way in
Dakota.
Fargo,
We're going
North
to Fargo.
Dakota.
It's
I never thought
literally
I'd
in
go to North
Fargo.
Dakota for a video, but here I am.
Why did you guess Fargo?
Behind me is
Alma,
Space
you don't
Aliens
know,
Grill.
do you?
I don't. Tell me.
Fargo is literally like this town. It is a town so famous for I committed murder and I am trying to hide from the law. Town.
What?
That a movie and TV show with Steve Buscemi exists about that happening. Where
What?
some dude commits a murder and then in order to evade the police, he goes to Fargo, North Dakota because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere and it gets cold as fuck in the winter.
Okay. Also, Rose, how do you stop people coming in and not eating and the burger just to get a spanking? The spanking is $30, and I'm there, and I'm pretty sure you could definitely get one cheaper in Vegas for much less. And I don't know how I know that. I feel like that's true.
You could probably, it is probably cheaper than hiring an actual adult because prostitution is legal in Nevada.
Yeah,
In
you
Vegas, but
yeah.
in Nevada.
You could, I mean, like, I feel like you could get spanked cheaper for less and get other services as well instead of failing to eat a crappy $30 burger.
No, not for 30. You'd have to pay more than 30.
Damn, what a value.
You're getting,
This
you're getting
sucks.
bacon for $7.
This
40
sucks. This sucks. Unless you have a humiliate. I mean, yeah, we're just adding bonuses. Like we're painting a very specific
Alma,
guy.
Why do you think only rich dudes get dominatrixes? It's not because it's a financial thing. It's because they can't afford it if you're not super rich.
Okay.
Grill and bar. I mean, y'all, look at this building.
Also, this is the aliens I was talking about.
What even is that up there?
A Lamau.
A Lamau.
Space Aliens Grill and Bar is an alien-themed restaurant that's out of this world fun for the whole family.
Alien.
The entire place is based around aliens, including the food. For example, they have something on the menu called alien fingers. That doesn't sound appetizing at all. Why would you name a dish after fingers? Seriously, I don't expect this place to be good in the slightest.
Chicken
but
fingers.
There's only one way to find out. And, oh, okay.
Fish fingers.
Like I said, it's very windy, so let's go
I don't know.
inside. Y'all, walking into this
Fingies.
place is insane. It feels like I'm walking into like a
thought you had a
spaceship
cameraman this whole
UFO thing.
Nope.
I don't know. I mean, bro, what? What is this? It's like I'm on the Death Star. I made my way through the intergalactic door, and y'all, I'm not quite sure how to describe this place. I mean, first off, there's a giant alien-themed gift shop in the front, multiple alien paintings
This looks like it
everywhere on
walked
the
out
walls,
of the
and the dining area looked like something
It looks like
straight out of a sci-fi
I
movie.
feel like
Y'all,
we
to say
walked
this
out
place
of
is
a.
alien-themed would be
This
an
looks like the
understatement.
fucking pizza place from Toy Story.
Yeah, just me.
What? That's depressing. Just one? Yeah.
Or
Also, it kind of looks like this place got like abducted from New Mexico and just placed down here.
And y'all, I'm not quite sure how to describe this place.
This is a Roswell tourist trap in Fargo, North Carolina. Like, what? North Dakota.
Everywhere on the walls, and the dining area looked like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Y'all, to say this place is alien themed would be an understatement.
Is this one of you? Yeah, just me. Holy, this place is nuts.
All right, y'all. So I just got seated.
I even got secondhand embarrassment from that.
I have no idea what I was expecting
Dear
the inside
God.
of this place to look like, but it was not this. I thought the outside was extra, but the inside is even more whoa. The amount of alien stuff everywhere is crazy. I mean,
looks
bro,
like a laser tag
what?
place
What
from
is
the
this?
late 90s.
And to start, the service here is actually pretty good so far.
The merch
I
is
already got a
fun.
water, so I'm happy about that. And no one
Cool.
gave me a weird look when I walked in with the camera, so another +1. This menu, fill up your inner space. Does that mean my belly? I looked over the menu.
That's
and
kind of
as
nice.
expected, look at all of the alien theme.
Solar
Asian
eclipse.
ranch potato skins. Classic Caesar. The spaceship salad.
Space.
Arcadian lettuce with fresh mushrooms.
Space dust pickle fries.
They have chicken tortilla cheese soup. I don't know if I want
What?
chicken in a tortilla soup. That sounds
Our
wild.
famous chicken tortilla cheese soup.
It's $8.
Specialty menu items available
Wait, what's
on
that
what?
special? Turn off the captions. What that or move them? What's that say for 8? The groups of 8 more. Oh, auto.
The usual gratuity stuff.
Okay, that's boring.
Themed food. Outer space fries. Space dust pickle fries.
Pickle
This one's just
fries.
called spaceship. And of course, alien fingers.
Fingies.
The thing I'm the most excited to
Wait,
try
you
at
say
this
it was
restaurant
funnel
though
cake
isn't
strips?
one of the space
Yeah.
alien specific items. It's actually the ribs. According to the internet, space aliens won best ribs in America in 2020. And y'all, I'm from Texas, so I know what good ribs taste like, so we're gonna put it to the
okay,
test.
never mind, this guy's
Let's see
based
how
as
good
shit.
space alien ribs really are. I placed my order, and to kill time,
didn't think he
walked
was
over
not
to
based,
the
but
Galaxy Game Room, which
now
is
I
one
know
of
I
the
can trust
other
him.
main attractions here. Basically, it's an arcade. Y'all, there's a giant Space Invaders game that is so perfect for this restaurant. And
Let's
this dude
go.
is
Oh yeah, I've
killing
seen
it.
those.
I've seen those. It's pretty
Basketball
good.
games while I waited. It was pretty fun. So my food has arrived, therefore I am done with the Galaxy Game Room. And y'all, I was hating on the ribs before, but now that they're in front of me, they actually look pretty good. But looks scary to see.
Oh.
That
Shit.
looks like that was homemade.
Yo, these look good.
How good can ribs from an alien-themed restaurant even be? Oh yeah, dude. I can literally just like pull this
fuck.
right off the bone. If you don't
my
know
mouth's
ribs,
watering just
that's
looking
a very good sign of good ribs. I won't lie, I was not expecting that. So
Holy
far,
fuck,
I'm
there's no
impressed.
meat on
but how
that
do
bone.
they taste? Oh my god, it's actually really good. Oh no. What? I can't honestly say they're better than the ribs in Texas, but they are better than ribs I've had anywhere else. Even the sides were good. I devoured everything. Y'all, there was still one more food item I have to try. And it just got brought out to me.
Oh my god, the
alien
Midwest might be
fingers.
okay.
Still not a fan of the name,
Midwest
but
meat
they're a
might
lot
be
less
okay.
intimidating than I expected, so let's give them a try. Sorry I'm eating one of your fingers, dude.
Fingies.
The alien fingers are just little mini churros, and they're dusted with powdered sugar, so it's like a churro state fair funnel cake
I
combo
guess
thing
that's
we got
like
going
why
on.
they call
But
them
here we
alien, 'cause
go.
They're so covered in sugar, they look like they're from a great alien.
Oh my god. So after trying all of the food, I can confirm, in a very unexpected way, the food here is fantastic. I don't understand how that's possible, but it's the truth. Since I was done eating, I paid the bill and made my way over to the gift shop to purchase my intergalactic souvenir. So I've completed my alien adventure. It's still very windy outside, but I now have a green souvenir alien cup and this headband. Y'all, Space Aliens was way better than I expected, and I can honestly say I would come back here. I had a fantastic time. Now, is this restaurant good or is it a gimmick? I can't believe I'm saying this, but Space Aliens is good.
I want to go
If you
now.
like aliens, this is the place
Go
to
now,
visit.
too, but then I have
Ladies
to
and
go to
gents, it's
Fargo.
now 1-1 on the good and gimmick themed restaurants.
When the gimmick is good.
The next themed restaurant is
when
going to
it's
be.
just a
I don't have
good
very high
restaurant
hopes
that
for
has
this
the
next one. It's
wildest
literally
aesthetic
impossible
I've
to
seen
guess
in
what
the
the theme
last
of this
30
place is. I'm now in College Station, Texas, and
Oh
y'all,
God, I
this
could
town
try
is
here.
famous for about two things: Texas A&M and the restaurant right behind me. This is Harvey Washbangers, a laundromat themed restaurant where not only can you eat, but you can also wash your stinky gym socks. That sounds sanitary. I have absolutely no idea how someone came up with the idea to combine a restaurant and a laundromat. Honestly, it
guess the
seems a
idea is
little
you can
unnecessary,
hear while
but
your laundry
I do
is
have a
running.
bag of dirty clothes.
Yeah.
and traveling,
horrible
so I
idea.
guess I'm gonna do
That's
some
a valid
washing
idea.
while I eat lunch. Hopefully it's good. So
Honestly,
check it out.
valid idea.
And as
Put
expected,
your laundry and you have an hour to eat.
but with a few
Especially if you're
slight
maybe a
differences.
So
So
this is the laundry
area.
Yeah.
I'll be cleaning my clothes.
Perfectly valid concept.
It's actually through that door. So before I get food, I want to do my laundry first. That way I
was
can
gonna
eat
say it
while
makes
it
sense to
washes.
try to keep that
But I
segmented.
ran into a tiny issue. I brought the dirty clothes, but I did not bring any laundry detergent or any laundry cleaning supplies. I am not prepared. So I'm gonna figure that out. I made my way over to the help desk and learned that you can actually buy everything here. Detergent, dryer sheets,
I would
hangers,
hope so.
literally all
It's
of
a
it.
laundromat.
This nice lady also told me I had to buy a laundry card if I want to wash my clothes. So I got one.
That's
So I found my washer.
The
and
card,
I
I do have to say, the card was
Why do you need a card if there's a slot for money on the front of the machine?
the card was cute.
Yeah, it is.
The card's really cute. I like it.
Established 1998. It's not even. I think that's almost 20 years.
So I found my.
What are you talking about?
Or almost 30 years.
No, there's no section to put money in. It's changed out into. No, look, it got exchanged out for card reading. You slot.
Those were bill slots. Okay.
That's where they are. They got retrofitted with card payment.
Okay. I know.
My washer, and I have my laundry card and my detergents, which is very necessary for me to wash these clothes. But now that I've solved this problem, there's actually another tiny little issue. So normally in my house, I am not the guy that does the laundry. My beautiful girlfriend, Carrie, is the one that handles all of that.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
kind of like the kitchen dishes guy. Every time I do the laundry, somehow I shrink something or something goes wrong. Hopefully none of my clothes shrink when I wash my laundry here. All right, let's load this washer up.
Listen, this isn't an answer that I could give.
I actually don't have that much clothes to wash since I just travel pretty light, but
All my clothes are so
for now.
All my clothes are so homogeneous that I can just dump everything together and everything will be fine.
And started the wash.
I mean,
all right, so while these wash, I'm gonna go
ignoring
get some
that,
food.
it's like
I
if
walked
you
over to
just
the
read the
restaurant side
label,
and
you can just
instantly
avoid
felt like I was
damaging your
teleported
clothes.
into a different building
True.
entirely. One moment I was in a laundry.
Wait, how do you pronounce homogeneous?
Thank you, appreciate it.
I know. I
So I got the menu, and there's actually
Yeah, I pronounce it homogeneous, like me.
more stuff on here than I expected. One thing that really sticks out to me is
Hold up, wait.
Google Translate time.
Homogeneous.
Oh, hey.
Homogeneous.
Apparently that's right, according to Google.
Homogeneous.
Fuck you, I'm right.
I've said homogeneous in the past.
I've done homogeneous
But,
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, the menu seems nice.
then an old school diner. Thank you, appreciate it. So I got the menu, and there's actually more stuff on here than I.
Like, let's just pause and look at it.
Giant, and we really mean giant pretzel, made with house-made beer cheese.
Yeah. Scratch-made chili.
Yeah, that's good.
What's a pozole?
I don't know.
That sounds familiar, the fact that I pronounce it right, but what is it? Oh, it's a stew.
Okay.
Ooh, that's nice. Okay.
Not burgers.
Burgers and not burgers.
Banger burger, the Soul Cow, jalapeno cream cheese, a patty melt. Why did they write it like that? And then a chorizo burger.
I like that they have a listing of matching beer options. That's kind of nice.
They tell you what pairs well in case you don't know.
That's pretty nice, honestly.
Yeah.
Porkaholic cheese fries sounds terrifying, but I do want to eat them.
House smoked pulled pork, bacon, cheese, jalapeno, and barbecue.
Very simple, you know.
I expected. One thing that really sticks out to me.
They have a house salad and a taco salad. Sides are kettle chips, onion rings, sweet potato fries, hand-cut fries, cup of chili, and a side salad.
Pretty good.
Desserts include homemade vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry milkshake, or a chocolate peanut butter pie.
Pretty good.
Chicken fingers, black bean quesadilla, buttermilk fried chicken fingers.
Unroasted challah with sriracha mayo topped with ginger sriracha. That's a complicated chicken sandwich. I like that.
Pulled pork Sammy.
Yo, banh mi.
Banh mi. Triple loaded club.
And cheesesteak.
Yeah, Philly cheesesteak, which it's Texas. The Philly cheesesteak's probably just gonna be okay.
Is one of their starters, the pretzel. How big is this pretzel? Now, I know I said at Heart Attack Grill that I was done with burgers for a while, but Harvey Washbangers' special item is their banger burger. It's literally the only item on the menu named after the restaurant, so I feel like I have to get it. Hopefully, it'll make me like burgers again. I placed my order, looked around a little, and then noticed this huge panel on the wall that conveniently tells me when my laundry would be done.
That's nice.
Is washer number 10. So when that
Why is this in Texas and not in like somewhere in New
Holy,
England?
that is a big pretzel.
It does seem like a New Englandy
Or
place.
Japan.
Oh!
When they called this a giant pretzel.
It's as big as his face.
This thing is huge. Look at that dough. That is nice.
That does look good.
That would be fun to split with the
Dude, that's a good pretzel.
Hell yeah.
All right, y'all.
I feel like it needs more cheese sauce, though.
Not a bad looking burger.
All right, that looks
if
pretty
I do
good.
say
Not
so
bad.
myself. The melted cheese on the patty, spectacular.
I like that they split the hot. I kind of like it when they split
The
that.
burger at Heart Attack Grill. I really hope I
don't
like
like
this
when
because it looks good.
restaurants shred their lettuce like that.
Oh yeah, it's a little messy.
That's why I usually don't get
This is so much better than Heart Attack Grill. Once again, I am very impressed. I am very full, and it turns out I also finished my food at the perfect time because y'all, the light on number 10 is out, which means my clothes are ready to be dried. I paid the bill, walked back over to the laundry area, took my clothes out, and loaded them in the dryer for the dry cycle. I found a cute little waiting area, so I sat down and got some work done. And after about 30 minutes, it was time to check on the clothes. The moment of truth. I got a shirt out. Y'all, I think we did it.
I mean, I'd hope it'd be done for an industrial dryer.
There's just one more thing I have to do before I leave. Y'all, this might be the best shirt I've ever purchased in my entire life. So Harvey Washbangers was a lot better than I expected.
Good shirt.
The food was solid, and honestly, getting to do my laundry after days of traveling, very convenient. I'm glad my clothes are clean now. In the future, if there's another restaurant for me to visit in College Station and I need my clothes washed, I would definitely come to Harvey Washbangers. So, with that being said, is this themed restaurant good or a gimmick?
They are
This is
cooking
crazy to me,
and
but
cleaning.
Harvey Washbangers is actually good. Turns out laundromat themed restaurants are very convenient. All right, y'all. So I'm back home because the next themed restaurant is actually in Dallas, Texas. And here's the thing. I know the last two restaurants were surprisingly better than I expected, but this next themed restaurant is very concerning. See, the thing is, I've actually been there before. When I was 4. I don't remember having a good time. In fact, I'm pretty sure I hated it. Which, now that I think about it, could be the reason I
If this
don't
one
like
ends up
themed
good, the video is just shitting on Heart Attack Grill.
The good news is, my girlfriend Carrie is coming along with me to this one, and
Is that the current score?
My birthday, which is either going to be
far, the latter
really
two
good or traumatizing. We're gonna go get ready and go there.
It'll be good.
We'll see.
Although I feel like the last one is going to be pretty.
The
This,
castle behind me
yeah.
is none other than medieval times. A fun-themed dinner and show.
How close is this to you?
It features knights riding horses,
hours.
jousting
Okay,
competitions,
cool.
and even a feast from the Middle
I
Ages.
have never
Y'all,
been
it
here.
feels so weird.
Me
not
either.
being here because
Location,
I
but
have
any
not stepped
medieval
foot
times.
The interesting thing about it is like me either, but I feel like I've seen this enough that people like I've seen what it is and people like it's in like the public zeitgeist, right?
Yeah, like people know
Of
it
it,
exists.
they know it exists and people do it as like a joke, but I don't know what's in it.
in this building in 20 years. So I don't know what to expect. Carrie's more excited about it than I am, so we'll see how it goes. I can't believe I'm actually coming here for my 24th birthday. This is insane.
It's gonna be fun.
We made our way through the giant castle gates into the lobby where we waited
Oh, it's
in an
raining.
extremely
That sucks.
long line.
Also.
It's very overwhelming in here.
This is the theme. Yeah, it's like this is the themed restaurant.
Everyone is assigned a random crown color.
This in addition to
That's the team you're on, and
what?
you're supposed to root for the matching knights during the show.
Rain makes it
What
more
team do you
brave.
wanna be on?
I think I want to be on the villain.
Honestly, me too. After waiting for what felt like forever, we were finally able to check in. Got it. Awesome. Thank you.
Ew, they're getting upsold as
We put on our little
posters.
crowns
Hate that.
And walked into a room that absolutely blew my mind. This
My
place is
God.
crazy.
Whoa.
I don't remember the medieval times in Dallas being this big.
They've got like a whole bar.
They got a gift shop. I hope this
Oh,
heals
wow.
my childhood trauma coming here.
I mean, there are lots of kids, and we still have to try the food. But overall, the atmosphere is great.
It's fun. We got these cute matching ceramic cups. Checked out this real-life armory with real swords. And
Any single one of them.
matching
Hold on,
ceramic cups. Checked out this
I'm
real-life
pausing to see if any one of them is Excalibur.
From Fate?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it appears that none of them are Excalibur. We're good. Because you know that there's going to be like one of them that's going to be Excalibur,
No,
you
it's
know?
right there. What do you mean?
The
It's
one
right there.
the one in the middle.
No, it's invisible.
Kill your fuck you. Ah, fuck you. Fuck you.
You just put it on the T. I had to hit it.
Oh, you suck. Okay.
with real swords. And Carrie really likes these tiaras.
You want a princess tiara? Is it my birthday or yours?
A few minutes later, this man appeared on this balcony and told everyone to head to our seats for the
Did
feast
anyone
and
else
show. Oh, we're going in. We're going in. Ah,
Welcome to the
we're going
pre-show.
in.
Whose family would buy their younger
Holy
siblings
cow.
presents?
All right, y'all. So we
on
just
the
got
older
seated,
kid's
and
birthday.
this place is crazy. First thing I want to point out is the tableware. You got a metal bowl here and a metal plate. That's pretty fancy.
They spent some money on this
They
place.
went the extra mile, and I am for it. Also, like, the decor is pretty sick. You got the thrones all the way
That's
over there.
probably the only
Those look very nice.
downside of a lot of these
cheap.
So far, I'm impressed. So basically,
is
how the
that, like,
food here works
the decor is a
it's
lot,
a four-course
and if
meal
you're just trying to vibe
with
and have a nice
food
meal,
items from
it's
the
all kind of
medieval times,
overwhelming.
like roasted
Yeah.
chicken, potatoes, bread. Pretty basic. So honestly, I'm just gonna be judging all of the food by like the actual quality of the cook. It's nothing fancy by all means, but it can still be good. I hope it's good. Otherwise, I will be very sad. After a few more minutes of waiting for everyone to finally be seated, the show began. First, all of the knights representing each color came out, and I may have been more excited than expected.
Fuck the blue
Just
team.
came out, and it was
Ah.
introduced as Dragon's Blood, also known as Tomato Bisque.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it was alright. They also brought out some bread.
Tomato bisque sure is. Tomato bisque.
Honestly, that's good.
Really?
This is- it looks like garlic bread.
Complain about this?
Because it just looks
I
like garlic
love
bread.
Toasted bread, so I agree.
Right.
Anyways, the king
Might
and
just be
queen
seasoned.
introduced a falcon show next, where some dude literally just let a falcon fly around the room.
Falcon.
It was crazy. Whoa!
Bird. Cool bird. Bird.
The Majesty, Sir Majesty,
Sir Majesty.
just announced that the feast is beginning, which means it's time for the real food outside of the soup and bread. All right, so we just got our food. They said it's roasted falcon.
I don't like that.
Me neither. And then we also got potato and corn on the cob.
Potato and corn.
Hopefully it tastes
English
good. First
dish,
up, the
corn on
roasted
the
falcon.
cob.
It got really loud while I was trying
Very
to give my review.
European.
And honestly,
Mm.
it wasn't the worst
Chicken.
meal I've ever had. The chicken wasn't super flavorful, but it wasn't dry. Way better than I expected.
Honestly,
Time to
that's
try the
pretty good.
Oh! That's pretty good. The food's not like
It's-
amazing, but it's not.
You're
bad.
eating a
I'd consider
potato.
this passable.
I would too.
I am honestly in shock right now
you can
and
fuck up
very
a potato.
impressed. Well,
Oh no, no doubt.
the challenges
But
began, and I was
Under-seasoned
shocked
potato
at
is your
how
seeding
hyped the room
starch.
is. Myself included. Yeah! That's our night!
That's my boy. Oh, that's cute.
Did my girl just get stolen from me?
The night riz.
The entire experience was way more fun than I remember it.
I'm surprised at how bright the lighting is.
Whoa! He just smoked him. Yeah. And things got really intense when the knights started fighting with medieval weapons.
Yo, I love Chivalry. It's my favorite game. Chivalry is a cool game. It's still fun.
Playing Medic
The red
Knight.
team was cheering for their knight. I got really
Oh,
excited
cool. He
when
did a
All Might was
roll.
winning.
I like that.
All right, y'all, it's time for the final battle. I really want our knight to win.
We better win.
He went from skeptical to so excited, and I like this.
Yeah! Let's go!
You're watching how nationalism plays out. Given a random option, and then you just root for your team.
Okay, but here's the thing. That works. She got she got the tiara.
Carrie got a souvenir.
I'm scared.
I told you I'd look good in a tiara.
Honestly,
How much is it? I'm so
am
scared.
way more impressed with medieval times and had so much more fun than I thought I would. So,
Wait, was that
with that
all
being
the food
said,
they got?
would I come back
Yes?
to medieval times?
Oh,
I think
it's
we
like a
all know the
two-course
answer.
meal. I
Carrie,
thought
you
it
can
would
answer.
be-
Maybe it was 3, and it just wasn't
Y'all,
like
I am shocked.
mentioned.
It turns out
there was
medieval
dessert.
times is not a gimmick. It's actually good. I feel like my childhood self has finally healed. Maybe
Vindication.
restaurants aren't so bad after all.
Hey, he got a photo too.
He's got a souvenir from every restaurant.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Oldest tech. Oh wait, I think we saw.
Oldest restaurant in Texas. Yeah. Hold on. I can't type.
Medieval times.
Oh, cool. The nearest one.
Where are all the locations? Just put like locations and see if that'll.
I mean, there's the main page, so. I like his your castle.
Okay, we have
One.
Atlanta,
Baltimore, Buena Park, California, Chicago, Dallas, to Lyndhurst, New Jersey, Myrtle Beach, Orlando, Scottsdale, Arizona, and Toronto.
Canada only gets it in Toronto.
Of course they do. Okay, the feast. 4 courses.
Okay, it's 4 courses, so you just missed some of them.
I went to the Myrtle Beach one. How was the Myrtle Beach
You gotta
one
give
then?
us hop in VC.
Yeah, give us your personal opinion. It was all right. Yeah, it sounds right.
Damn. 3-word review.
I'm in a fucking dungeon, you goober.
Queen Maria Isabella.
Sure.
Is that a real queen?
No.
That existed?
Okay, let's see here. Noble feast on garlic bread, tomato bisque soup, roasted chicken, sweet buttered corn, and herb-based potato. Okay, so it's herbed, buttered, and then baked potato.
Okay, you a treat worthy of royalty, sir. Okay, doesn't.
Based on supply.
Okay, so.
Oh, no, comma. Based on supply, an item from our feast may occasionally be substituted.
Okay.
And they do have dietary
Okay,
substitutions.
It includes a generous serving of hummus with a carrot and celery sticks. That sounds pretty good.
That's
Main
good.
course featuring 3 bean stew with a fire roasted tomato and brown rice, and a choice of fresh fruit or Italian ice for dessert. Okay, that's pretty good. Vegetarian option includes all these vegan dishes along with a sample of a slide of warm pita bread. Wait, is pita bread not vegan? Not that I'm like vegan, but I just...
Is pita bread vegan? Some are, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing maybe they use I guess in a lot of pita bread there's some ingredient that's used for
Yes, traditional vegan bread. Okay. I think the answer
is usually vegan.
It's usually vegan, but probably like I'm guessing from their sourcing it's not.
Yeah.
Hey Peter, the horse is here.
Oh yeah, I can get a margarita at the fucking video. Okay.
Non-alcoholic beverage of the castle. We offer rotating specials. Okay.
Okay, so I guess that's kind of an interesting oh, wait,
It's so set. Wow, that's that's an this PDF is
Adobe.
ass.
Why are you using the Adobe extension? Or did you not do that?
I didn't really do that intentionally. I'm guessing I just have it. Wow, they really fucked up this PDF.
Okay, different. Let's pick a different one.
I can't even see it. How did they fuck this up?
Oh no.
They fucked up the PDF really bad. What the fuck?
Scanned it back.
No, they did it. No, they didn't. Look. No, they didn't look. It's search like there's I can look through it.
That's weird.
They just fucked it up.
Thing.
Let's try again. Oh, okay. It's just that one.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay, there we go. We this is less informational, but we have a better understanding of what's on here. Okay. Tomato bisque,
Ice.
garlic bread, half chicken, potato, corn.
Okay, so you're really paying for the experience.
Oh yeah, totally.
You get a set meal unless you.
It's
some dietary adjustments.
It's cake.
That's cool.
I like the line educational matinee meal, whatever that is.
Maybe that's for like
kids because they have a substitution of like a quarter chicken instead.
Or if you're like a school tour or something, which
I guess
feels like kind of a scam because this isn't educational at all.
What's interesting is that the Canadian menu is give or take the same thing.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
I'm just surprised that they keep it so.
I'm guessing
static.
That has their own requirements.
No. I'm just surprised that the menus between all of the locations are exactly the same.
It's probably why. It's probably because everything else they're doing is so expensive that they have to just have a set menu with set dishes with just dietary alterations.
And then buy it in bulk or something.
Yeah, they just get from like a handful of suppliers that are regional, I'm sure. Like this can't be cheap to run. Like,
oh, clearly there's insurance by itself is already expensive. Company outings?
I think if my company told me they were taking my team to go to medieval times, now that I've seen this video, I'd be like, hell
yeah. There would be no.
Go back. Look at those boys. Look how happy they are. Look at them. Look at that guy on the right. He's having way too much fun. Look at that guy third from the right. He's got armor on. He's like, yeah. Why do the ladies just look like they're kind of just chilling? They're just like, eh.
Well, it's because they're all.
Except that one on the right, she looks like she's having a good time.
She has a wine glass. You know what's up.
You know what's up.
There's packages.
Guaranteed group VIP sitting, VIP lanyard, Knights cheering banner, 2 cocktails, beer, wine, sodas, or slushies.
Group announcement during the tournament.
You get a knighting ceremony.
Wait, where? Where?
At the bottom for noble fare. It says knighting ceremony for 1 VIP.
Wait, that's for one person. Who's gonna get who gets knighted at the company dinner?
Do that as like a birthday party or a bachelor party.
Oh, you're right.
Let's read this one. Everything from dinner and tournament plus a group photo for every guest. Knights cheering banner, upgraded arena sitting, VIP lanyard, 2 well cocktails, beer, wine, sodas, or slushies. Night ceremony for 1 VIP. Hurricane souvenir glass and a bottle of water at your seat.
What does that mean? Oh.
Okay, it's like a glass, like a metal.
It's saying that it's glass.
Oh wow, that looks like it might be actually kind of expensive. Then.
I mean,
for a glass.
I mean, the pricing on what these are labeled is about 20, slightly higher than $20. So
which obviously not.
That's nice.
Right.
Emery, hey. Thank you for coming in. There's space for everybody. Welcome. Oh, hey, it's Almo. Hey, it's Emery. Hello. Welcome. If you guys don't know me, I'm Alma Hexblade, Head Guild Master Chief Priestess, Smarty Pants Extraordinaire. And today we're doing Finding Out Friday, where we just kind of watch some educational videos. So, Emery, if you need to head out, or anybody who just came in for the raid, you're free to do so. Have a wonderful rest of your night. But for anybody else staying with us, welcome and enjoy the weird ride that we're on. We're currently talking about gimmick restaurants.
You guys missed out on medieval times.
You missed out on us learning about how good medieval times was. And also, apparently...
medieval times is cool.
Apparently, it's good. Also, apparently, the, what was it? Heart Attack Grill is in fact Garbo.
Oh yeah, we were gonna look up more stuff about that, but we don't have to.
Let's just.
Can we watch Tyler 1 get spanked?
No, I feel like I get demonetized just by thinking about that. You know the morals. Oh God.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Tyler 1 and Faker hung out in like 2019 as part of some video that T1 did, and they went to the Heart Attack.
Is that a Sunny V?
That looks like a Sunny V1 video.
Is that a Sunny V1
When
video?
John Basso
Oh my God!
Is it really? Or
It's
is
a
it parody.
It's a Sunny V. Hold on.
When John Basso
No, that's their own thing.
No, but this is clearly a clip from Sunny. Yeah. Isn't just this Sunny's content? Yeah, it is. Then you'd have to give Sunny some credit. Hopefully a deal was made.
So Sunny doesn't ask for credit from other people, so you know who gives a shit.
But still, oh no.
Anorexia since 2000.
Oh no, is this is clearly from Minute Food. Maybe.
Did they just re-upload all this shit? I'm guessing they were maybe worried it would get taken.
have a wild Las Vegas adventure.
Oh, okay, it's the generic. I know that, the generic bullshit. I hate looking at this. Why are we here?
Why are we here?
Why are just to suffer?
Just to suffer.
Words. This is a real yeah, it's a real web 1.0 looking website. I'm a little more worried about though, like if you scroll down, there is in fact an employee login section, and I'm like,
it's just a password.
There's no way that this is like this is words.
Wait, what's it say at the top?
Oh, I just realized the acronym for Heart Attack Grill is in fact HAG.
Wait, go back. What's it say at the top? We'll make reporting easy for you. Okay.
This is the press. This is the press. No, this is the press junker for it.
Yeah. You guys also missed the part where the fucking owners are clearly not happy about the sales tax on food for restaurants in Las Vegas and complain about it openly on the menu.
I'm slowly. These are.
It's almost like it has a nurse like kink vibe to it.
I don't like
that's
it.
Part of the gimmick, which I'm guessing just got de-emphasized over time in favor of this.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Butterfat shake. That sounds.
World's highest fat content.
That sounds like it would make me want to throw up from eating so much. Schedule a time for your film crew.
Hag reports. It's just really fun. Hags.
Matara Khan reporter content.
Yo, let's go. Matara Khan would go to Heart Attack. Would she?
Probably.
I feel like she would as a joke.
Ricky just needs to invite her next time.
You get to watch Jeopardy into layers in real time. Yeah.
Include these 1080p videos in your production. Is this the Western equivalent of a maid cafe?
This is the worst part about it. That this is probably the explain maid cafes to an American. So imagine a burger.
Imagine Hooters.
Imagine a Hooters.
You get spanked by a fucking nurse.
God. Hooters but
don't eat your food.
Okay, we're gonna move on to maybe something a little bit, something more that would make me more angry, but is important. No, it's the one from Electro Boom. It's about just wild ass misinformation.
Misinfo, gaslight.
Gaslight. Yeah, I've been watching this one.
Hi, today
I love Electro Boom's content.
Praveen Mohan. Calmly. Praveen Mohan is another YouTuber that talks about ancient structures and artifacts in his channel and then tries to make them even more exciting by talking about how those things are more than what they seem and that our ancestors had tapped into so much advanced science. He is the same guy I debunked once in my old video about the fake Baghdad batteries. He even has a mini bio on IMDb website. Praveen Mohan is known for his groundbreaking research on ancient history history,
Terrestrial
archaeology,
technology.
and extraterrestrial theory.
Where's the Minuteman collab with Electro Boom?
I feel like this is some. I have a feeling if I scroll down, he would just be in the comments.
Canadians and Americans need to unite so that Electro Boom and Minutemen can collab.
Yeah.
He recently discovered India's oldest sundial. Really?
Oh.
Let's look at that video.
Let me show you a short clip of a tour guide figuring out the time, and then I will explain how the sundial works.
I was just a sundial.
Oh, the tour guide already knows it's a sundial. He didn't discover it. Did he write his own biography here? Praveen began exploring ancient mounds of America. He has argued that since the mounds can be understood from air, they must have been made for extraterrestrials.
That's
I haven't started the video yet, and he's bombarding me with
Just because the hill is big.
Your mind to wonder about what could be and ask questions to find new things. After all, Discovery and History channels are guilty of making money off aliens and ancient technology. What
There's a hold on.
turn simple stuff into
There's an editing mistake, and it's bothering me. So he's on a green screen and has a background of his workshop, right?
Yeah, and then there's that thing cut off on the left.
exaggerated.
It's just misplaced for some reason, and it's really bothering me.
Can it be that this ancient human statue has also arms and legs?
This is exactly how a human knee would look. And look at the shin bone, how it protrudes.
It's a knee, Mohan. It's supposed to look like a knee. What he also does is he tries to explain everything scientifically.
Explaining archaeology to American. Imagine exploring the massive ancient mounds of the Founding Fathers.
And know the actual science. Anyway, let's keep an
No, no. Explaining archaeology to an American. Imagine exploring the massive ancient mounds of the Founding Fathers. Explaining archaeology to a skeptical American. Imagine exploring the massive ancient mounds of the Founding Fathers and finding gold. Imagine exploring a burger.
But that's literally the plot of National Treasure.
That's the joke. That was the joke.
One of his videos, which is about the new discovery of a temple in Indonesia.
Hey guys, archaeologists found an ancient wire in the Candi Kimpulan temple in Indonesia. Yes, this is the actual picture of that high-quality copper alloy wire. And initially, they thought it was an ornamental ring.
Maybe because it's shaped like a fucking ring. Also, just because something's made out of metal doesn't mean that it's used for technology. Like, copper is copper. It's a really... I can bite copper. Like, it's a soft-ass metal. You can shape that into anything. It's one of those mosquito spirals. You're right. This could be one of those ancient mosquito spirals.
I would think the same thing too, because I'm sure it's nothing else.
But upon closer examination, they were shell-shocked because it was not a ring. It was a wire, just like the electrical wires we use today.
It's made of copper, therefore electricity.
No one showed this man the Statue of Liberty.
Is that true?
The archaeology report published by the Indonesian government actually mentions the words wire made of copper alloy.
I found the test report.
Doesn't mean it's an electrical
The word wire is repeated only once in this entire document, and there is no mention of electricity here. And wire is not only for electrical wire. Have you heard of barbed wires?
Post-editing note, this is figure 24 from the actual report, and this is figure 24 Mohan is showing. And I can't find the image of that ring anywhere else on the internet. I have a feeling he created a fake figure 24 and that ring might be AI generated.
Or it got edited out or something.
Pretend that all these ancient objects are meaningless and were used for superstition.
What?
What the f is this text here?
Oh no.
And here it shows 2 centimeters and all of a sudden this? Is this whole thing AI generated?
Oh no.
Looks like it.
No. He speaks too slow. Let's speed it up.
No.
What is more
fascinating to me is how they stored the wire. This is just like how we store the wires. We keep wires circled up.
Oh my god, he's right. We
Literally
always
deep
store
fake
wires in a circle to save space.
The copper and a seer laying fiber
Nobody's
internet.
never stored anything else in a circle like a rope or a hose or a string.
All these objects start to look like parts of a complex machine. These thin metal plates look like fan blades of a modern rotor, right?
Exactly, how can you see that? Or maybe they just look like flowers. I cut some of these artifacts out of paper, passed some wire through their center. Is this more likely or a computer fan?
Archaeologists found
It's a fan.
thin rectangular iron plates. They called them iron spatulas in the archaeological report. Found more thin slivers of silver, but experts could not put them together.
And I suppose Mohan knows better than many experts. Perhaps he is well educated in the field of science and archaeology. Let's find out. In LinkedIn, he is the CEO of himself, no record of education. A Reddit AMA, what is your educational background? I will answer your questions someday. Some website. There is nothing.
Amazing Googling.
It's safe to say he's not educated in science and technology. We can call him self-taught in archaeology at best.
They found something placed on a small pedestal. Yes, it is an earthen pot placed exactly under the spout of the base. This is not the norm in most ancient temples. You don't usually.
What? You mean a pot is not usually under a spout?
We find the setup.
I mean, a bowl underwater is the most common thing I can think of.
But inside these pots, archaeologists found a strange organic material. It was rice husk.
What's rice husk? Rice hulls or husks are the hard protection covering of grains of rice.
Putting God shows his successor on my LinkedIn. You can't prove that they're wrong. I can say that I can say that I have the mandate of heaven on my LinkedIn resume. They can't prove me otherwise. They can reject my application, but it's on them.
Considering the amount of rice that is consumed all over the continent of Asia.
Proves that they were doing something very strange.
I hate it when people use the word prove so loosely, as if it is impossible to poke a hole in that theory. Everyone in ancient times had rice husk because they had to clean their own rice.
In ancient times, rice husk was usually added to hold things firmly in place. It acted as a natural placeholder. It is soft and slimy when you first add water to
Concrete
it. But when you put
is the
an
word,
iron plate or
maybe?
a silver foil inside the pot, the husk will become rock hard.
What?
This bullshit. Rice husk is basically wood. It hardly mixes with water, let alone becoming concrete with iron and silver. This is such a bull. Fine, I went and bought some rice husk from a local brewery. Apparently it has some use there. This is what it looks like. I grind some of it into a fine powder for best effect. Nice. Pour it in a fancy silver bowl for good measure.
I love his spite.
To the mix. See, the water is hardly mixing with this thing.
I love the spite in trying to prove this wrong.
Doesn't want to mix with water. It's like
this looks like the worst tea ever.
What a mess. So we have a ton of silver and we place an iron blade into the rice husk. And now, as you can see, it's as solid as concrete. No difference. I'm sorry, but he was lying straight into our faces. He had this gooey mix right in front of him. What is the use of rice husk? Ash? Rice husk ash. Source of amorphous reactive silica. Rice concrete. To achieve the best pozolanic properties, the combustion of the husk has to be carefully controlled. Also, they burn the husks below 700 degrees C. Carbon formation at a given water-cement ratio. Small amounts of rice hull ash. Useful to improve workability of concrete mixes. Well, there you have it. It doesn't turn into concrete itself. They burn it, use the ash for concrete mix. It turns into concrete.
You know the thing that would probably be like the reason why he got some of these wrong. He probably ran the. I feel like he either skimmed it or ran the article through ChatGPT to give him a summary.
He watched a Cliff Notes version of a primitive technology video.
Oh no! Even well, no, even Cliff Notes actually tells you real shit. Doesn't just lie to your face.
With iron and silver. Toothpaste, rice bran oil, brewing to increase lottering. What?
Fertilizer and substrate. Fireworks? Fuel.
Juice extraction, pet food fiber, pillow stuffing, insulating material, particle boards and cardboard, geopolymers.
But why would such a setup be needed at all? To generate
What does it do?
Electricity.
Huh?
Yes, this is exactly what.
Yo, we're in the bullshit now. Silver plus iron plus rice plus water equals electricity. Baghdad Battery 2!
What they were doing here.
No. Making electricity is super easy, barely an inconvenience. I've said it before, every time you place two different metals like copper and steel in an electrolyte, which is simple stuff, any liquid with ions in it like orange juice, salt water, tea or whatever, you are creating a battery. See, I put the spoon in there and we are reading 0.16 volts, not much. And if you drop the metals in there like this, shorting the contacts, there will be some current running through the juice and metals that will cause some electrochemical reactions, likely ruining your juice. I'm sure ancient people were aware of these reactions, but they had no way to know it was electricity flowing and just blamed chemistry.
I'm going to fill the pot with husk. Here's a silver plate and here is a piece of iron. Let's check if we get electricity. But I'm shocked.
Shocked.
There is no electricity, right? Why? Because to get electricity, we need the power of the lingam. Without the lingam, we cannot create such power.
We need the power of lingam to create a battery. What is that power?
We have recreated this lingam as well. And let me
lingam these nuts.
That the spout is directly above the pot. So let's do that. Let me pour water on top of the lingam to unleash the power. And look. Just like magic, we see electricity rising in the pot.
So, the power of lingam was flowing water into the bowl?
So adding an electrolyte?
Pour water in the bowl.
What were they doing with this electricity? Today, most physiotherapists recommend a procedure called electrotherapy.
Who recommends that?
Which sends
low-voltage
electricity into your body. It heals many conditions. Wikipedia shows a dozen different conditions that can be treated.
Let's read the Wikipedia page. Medical uses: musculoskeletal conditions. Little to no evidence available to support electrotherapy for management of whatever. Neck and back pain has limited effect on neck pain. Evidence for electrotherapy very limited. Shoulder disorders.
Again, summary of Wikipedia.
Conclusions
and failing to read a summary of Wikipedia. Amazing.
Chronic pain, supporting evidence, absent or unclear. Chronic wounds. It was unclear whether electrotherapy increased healing. Mental health and mood disorders. Since 1950, over 150 published articles found positive outcome. I think that was the time when they electrocuted mentally ill people in their asylums. Clearly, it is a very questionable science which lacks solid evidence. Although you could use anything as placebo, but there are many more effective ways out there instead of electrocuting yourselves.
Physiotherapists confirm that it will heal you
if
you have repeated sessions of electrotherapy.
Definitely.
Let's read this article by Jason Bellefleur, who is a multi-award-winning physiotherapist. They assist in the recovery process, usually just to calm down some of the symptoms, especially in very acute situations. It doesn't heal, it assists by, say, reducing the feeling of pain by contracting your muscles, or perhaps an even bigger pain that makes you forget your original pain.
Today, what do devout Hindus do when they are mentally depressed or have a physical condition like chronic pain?
I guess they keep electrocuting themselves to get healed.
Is it possible that the ancient people of Indonesia were using electrotherapy?
No.
Believe it or not, something similar called the electric bath was practiced about 250 years ago. And who popularized this therapy? Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States.
Where's this going?
The electric bath procedure was called Franklinization after Benjamin Franklin himself. A patient with depression or pain would sit under a shower and B, delivered doses of electricity. And Ben Franklin noted that the
Doses of electricity.
Oh, did he actually note that? Electric bath.
Oh, here, this is really, I've never known this, gotten this part.
And the process of charging up a patient with static electricity was called Franklinization after Benjamin Franklin briefly experienced in this field. He attempted to treat a number of paralytics, first with electric shocks and then with static charging, but without much success. So Ben Franklin himself recognized that his procedures were useless and ineffective. What's wrong with their faces? Where do the arms of this lady disappear?
Oh no, not again. No.
AI generated.
Not again, no.
Anything real in his video? I'm a bit dumber for watching this video. But why stop there? Let's get dumber watching another video.
What was hiding under this lingam at Chandi Kimpolan Temple? When archaeologists removed the cylinder, they found a stone object with 17 cavities. Inside these cavities, they had alternating plates made of gold and silver, making it look like the fan blades of a motor.
It just looks like a flower. Why do we have to compare it to something fancier that we use nowadays?
Experts dismiss it as a mere religious ritual.
Maybe you should listen to the experts, man.
But was there a scientific purpose behind it?
Didn't the experts say no?
And here we have a lingam. We have designed it to be removable. And underneath the lingam, we have recreated this stone plate with a large circular gold plate in the center. I've put some simple color foils for now, but what were they doing with these gold and silver plates?
They like gold and silver?
Pure gold. And this is a plate of
like
pure silver.
They like shiny rocks.
Next to another
Shiny,
in the
precious
spot.
rock
Will this
that's
also
hard to
produce
get.
electricity?
Of course it will.
For
Pour
the
water
time.
into it. We can actually see the voltage gain here. We can see electricity
60
being
millivolts.
produced.
Wow.
And using this electricity to run machines and devices, just like what we do today.
Sweet God. Could 60 millivolts run anything? Even like a light?
Maybe something's really simple.
Okay, cool. He just claimed to may have this that could run machinery.
No.
So he talked about all that electricity generation for nothing?
Ancient builders were making gold water.
Ew, AI video.
For healing purposes.
What?
Let me explain. When we put gold and silver next to one another, very small atoms of gold are starting to detach from the gold plate.
What?
They are traveling in this water and
He's trying to explain electroplating without electricity. The world's first electrolyte energy drinks that actually gave you an electric kick, yeah. You gotta be careful with drinking those or else you're gonna get straight up just choke.
are moving towards the silver plate.
That's not how any of this works. Gold is an inert metal and barely ever wants to mix with anything. Now suddenly dissolves in water and you have to close the circuit for
This is a battery.
if you want any plating to happen. And
It's not even
being a
electric
more
plating.
active metal, it will want to plate over gold, not the other way around. They use a similar technique to prevent iron from rusting. What was it called?
I'm Grady, and this is Practical Engineering. In today's episode, we're talking about cathodic protection for corrosion control. Corrosion is an electrochemical process. As the anode loses electrons, it corrodes.
Yeah, go watch Practical Engineering.
Yay.
This is one guy who knows what he's talking about.
Learning.
Thanks, Grady.
We can actually electroplate this piece of silver
Oh,
and
is he
make it look like gold.
Is it? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Fake! He shows silver plate in one clip and switches it to gold in the other clip. For gold plating...
What in the hell are you trying to teach
external
people?
DC power supply around 3 to 5 volts connected to gold, so that positive terminal sucks electrons from gold, disconnecting gold atoms and plating...
Wait, I could electroplate with 5 volts?
Terminal. In this case, gold
Yo,
is
that's
the
actually not that
electrical
bad. I could do that with
loading system versus
a
Mohan's
USB.
setup, where gold is the positive of the supply. Not
Ideal.
only the voltage is very small, gold is the one sucking electrons from silver, disconnecting silver atoms. Is just misinforming.
Ancient builders were not trying to do gold plating or generate electricity.
He keeps spitting false information and then says it wasn't the purpose anyway.
They placed it under the lingam to make gold water.
What? Can you dissolve
Gold
in water?
water.
The most useful for dissolving gold is
Aqua Regia.
What is aqua regia?
Hydrochloric acid.
Electric and hydrochloric acid. Oh.
Yep.
So it's a drink and die potion.
The reason why it's called Aqua Regia is that it looks gold, and when I mean that, I mean it looks it is piss colored. Like, that's not what it was. Oopsie. It's piss colored. It's bad piss colored. And it does in fact dissolve gold, or like yeah, it dissolves gold, but you can get the gold back through a lot of shit. But you can.
What is gold water?
As you can see, it really has gold flakes in it.
Seems the goal is to add undissolvable gold shavings into the water.
Luxury water.
Like Mr. Beast's gold-plated steak. These people are so rich, they eat gold.
We pour water on this lingam. The water hits the base. It goes into this pit and soaks into this secret stone plate, and tiny particles of gold will detach and try to swim towards the silver.
No, they don't.
But why did ancient builders need gold water? Even today, Hindus use a silver cup, put a gold coin into it, pour hot water, and after a few minutes, they drink this water.
Gold is an inert metal, right? You just poop it out. Does eating gold...
I don't even know what the
According
religious
to
part is.
Caviar and gourmet, although eating gold may not have any detrimental effects on your health, thank God, it also doesn't have any nutritional benefits. Gold is a biologically inert metal, which means that it will not even be absorbed by your digestive tract. Any medical benefits? There remains no substantial proof. Beautifying benefits? Simply a marketing ploy.
Imagine drinking this gold water every day. By the way, don't try this at home. Please don't try to make your own gold water.
Now he's scared. Please don't do it at home because it's not real.
I hope you will agree with me that this was a place where great healings were performed.
No, I won't. I couldn't find a single technical video of his where he doesn't spit out some technological misinformation. Likely because he doesn't know how things work. And sometimes he cares more about views than the obvious truth. But where he just shows ancient artifacts and places and talks about cultural meanings and stories behind them, that's fine and good. It gets people inspired and excited to see those places. Although, considering the quality of provided information, I would take anything from him with a grain of salt and a load of rice husks. And thank you for watching.
I love electro boom stuff. It's just fascinating. I mean, I'm not an electrical engineer, of course, but I think it's always neat, you know?
I mean, me neither.
Yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah. What?
I was gonna say the closest to electrical engineering is styropyro stuff.
Yeah, and that's just knowing how much. That doesn't. I feel like that doesn't even count. Does it count? I don't think it counts. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. That should be all for at least today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing a bunch of Dawn Trail. So if you want to get that funny Chocopakur mount, you can watch me for a couple hours. Good deal, good deal. I'm just saying. I haven't even gotten through much of the story, so not even spoilers too bad will hurt me too bad. So, yeah. Let's see who could send you guys over to... Everybody's playing 14. Oh, you know what? I know. Let's send you guys over to Tane. They're playing Another Crab's Treasure, so... Alright. See you guys tomorrow. Make sure you guys say before you go. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye.